What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week.
Mm-hmm.
We're already in the middle of the week.
Just like that.
Yesterday was Monday. Today's the middle of the week.
Now it's Wednesday. Boom.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the middle of the week. Hope you all are having a delightful day so far.
It's gonna be muggy.
Yeah.
It's a sticky day. It was a sticky day yesterday.
Well, they keep teasing us with rain, but we don't get any rain.
No.
That's what makes it.
It just tickles at us.
Yeah.
Ever so slightly. And then, of course, we get a 3-inch wallop.
Yeah. We did get a rainbow yesterday.
We did.
I saw the rainbow. It wasn't a
Yeah.
double rainbow,
No.
but it was a rainbow.
It was indeed. Yeah, my daughter was, or my kids were outside playing with some of the neighborhood kids, and she goes, "Daddy, look!" I'm sorry. I got to take it in.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah,
It's always nice when you see a rainbow over the trailer park. You feel like just for a second there's some hope.
yeah. Somewhere. Start singing. Over the rainbow. But,
Cat runs by.
This is why I have a blue dress.
This very occasion. Ooh, hold on, I have something for this. Runs away.
Fetch me my ruby slippers. But
Give me my dancing dress.
But happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're having a great day so far. We're going to chit chat. We do have guests. We're going to have the Chamber join us in the 9 o'clock hour this morning. We are scheduled to have the folks from the Refuge join us in 8 o'clock. We'll see if they make it in. And then we don't have a guest scheduled this hour. We do, but we had to move them. But so we'll chit chat this hour, and then maybe next hour if the folks from the Refuge don't make it. If they do, we'll chit chat with them. But if they don't, we'll play our interview with Robert Sherman from yesterday from the Walker Aviation Museum. So we'll probably play that in the 8 o'clock hour here, and then we'll have the folks from the Chamber join us in the 9 o'clock hour. So game on for a whole lot of banter and stuff this
That's
hour.
right.
Banter.
Soak it in.
There you go. Oh, hold on. There's something I was going to mention. It just completely slipped my head. It'll come back to me later. But I think I feel like I'm in a TV lull.
Yeah.
As far as I've got my I'm on Animal Kingdom. I'm on the current season of now. I'm on season 6. I watched the first episode. Now all I've got is what's on my DVR.
See, you keep saying all I've got.
Yeah.
No. How far back are you on Stranger Things again?
Yeah, I'm like 2 seasons back on that one.
Exactly. Until you start catching up a little. I'm still behind on Stranger Things myself. I'm still back in 4. But until you catch up a little bit, until you can sit here and know who Vecna is.
Yeah. I'm also like
lull.
2 seasons back on Better Call Saul, too.
That's true. That is true. That's another great one to get caught up on. Actually, I'm completely behind on this last season. I haven't watched a single episode, which
I gotta
pains me. I'm not going to lie.
But now that I'm done with Obi-Wan, the offer's over for me, and that's kind of leaving a void in my life.
Sure.
I kind of miss new episodes. I kind of like, just do do another Godfather movie. Just there's 3 movies. Make another one of these. I'll watch it.
I feel like
I don't care if it's going to be garbage.
I feel like I have to watch a whole series just to understand a drop that we have on the brand. And it's literally, we're a little bit of Beth and a heap and helping a Rip.
Is that Yellowstone?
No idea. Yeah, it was
That's Yellowstone, Beth and Rip.
I had no idea until I looked it up. So I'm like, I'm going to have to go watch a whole series just to understand a drop.
It's actually a pretty good series.
Yeah,
if you watch
I know, but it's kind of not my wheelhouse.
I think it is your wheelhouse.
Yellowstone?
Yes.
Oh.
You like other shows you like? Breaking Bad,
Better Call Saul. Those I liked. I don't even know specifically what it was about those shows that I liked. There was a certain way that they told the story, and you learned about the character. Now that could be said that Yellowstone could very much be in that same vein. I've just never been super keen on like westerns.
It's not as much about a Western, and it's more about corruption and business.
The other one I want to check out, which is kind of in that same vein, everybody keeps telling me about, is Succession.
Yeah, I hear a lot of good things about that too on HBO. I've not watched it either, but everyone that has watched it say you need to watch it. It's really good. It's I've heard it compared to Sopranos. I've heard it. I've heard other comparisons to it. And so that's on the radar. I just haven't. I haven't sat down and committed yet. I'm like, all right, I got to commit to that, and I just haven't. Yellowstone though was one where I enjoyed because I do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Kevin Costner mark. I'll watch anything Kevin Costner's in. I'm a fan.
I'm a Costner mark. most people who know me know that.
I even liked those romantic movies like For Love of the Game and those ones that he did. I like them too. I call me crazy. I like Kevin Costner movies.
Costner's. I mean, he's.
I Sit to the Postman, and I love.
I was
going to
say that was a rough one. That's one of my still to this day. One of my favorite jokes in The Simpsons is about the postman. It's Lisa's walking through like some video store, and she goes, "Look, you can watch The Postman with optional director commentary." Yes, and it's just the director sitting there going, "I'm sorry." I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It's just,
I'll watch that movie. Do I love the movie? It's all right. But if it's on, I'm like, oh, Postman's on. Look at that. Oh, here's a scene where Ford Lincoln Mercury gets gets his name or whatever it is, But so I've always liked Costner movies,
right?
And so that's. That was in my end, so to speak. But no, I just like the fact the interaction between the characters. Like Beth, his daughter, is just cutthroat. Like she's tough, and then Rip is like eye candy for all the ladies.
Sure,
he's a and
his name is Rip. I mean, come on.
Well, and he's a man. Like the which you don't see as many of anymore. Actual men, like men that, talk about men, do men.
I'm right here, dude. You don't have... God, so mean on a Wednesday morning.
He's like a manly man, so the women swoon to him. But from what I understand, he's an actual ranch hand. Like his...
I already feel like I hate him. Like
his main job was an actor. Like he was, I think, I may be wrong, there's Yellowstone people that might shoot that like Uber fans that might tear this up. But from my understanding is he was like a consultant for the show for like ranching and riding and cowboy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he ended up getting the part of Rip because they were like, well, he fits it. He's a cowboy. He's this and that. And now he's an actor and a lady's heartthrob. But Rip. He's just a cowboy dude. But
Rip.
And then spoiler alert, Rip and Beth are a thing. Sorry if you don't know that factor. I haven't watched it yet. They become a thing.
You got me on a whole other rabbit hole. Like I'm trying to think of what actor would be Mike Costner.
For you?
Yeah, I just
Who is your Costner?
Didn't even realize I'd liked pretty much everything he's been in. I think it's Michael Keaton.
Really?
Yeah, the more I thought about it, I think it's Michael, because everything I've seen Michael Keaton in, I have absolutely enjoyed, up to and including Jack Frost. And yes, I stand on that mountain. I actually like Jack Frost. I'm the one.
Oh, so which one's got the worst, better, bad movie? Jack Frost or The Postman?
The Postman's rough, dude. Jack Frost, at least it has some laugh lines. I mean,
I laughed in The Postman.
yeah, how bad. Dude, full disclosure, I never watched The Postman. I've never watched it, so I really can't stand the place of judgment.
You are just.
But it's like The English
perpetuating
Patient. It's one of those movies that I don't have to watch to know how bad it is, just based on what everyone else, the consortium, has said. Yes, I buy into group speak.
You're no better than the rest. The Postman's a cinematic masterpiece. Well, okay, I'm lying, but it's all right.
There's a joke in American Dad about a firework called The English Patient, and it's an incredibly long build-up to a very unsatisfying finish.
See, now that movie is designed to separate classes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most of us think that movie's in a boring trope of just what, but there's that 1%, and that's to separate the elite.
Yeah, it's.
Oh,
yeah.
English Patient was a fine movie.
You're just not sophisticated enough to understand.
Afterwards, we watched Shakespeare in Love.
Lovey. Actually, I loved Shakespeare in Love. That's like the first. Well, I was also a 13-year-old boy. Okay.
That doesn't make it any better.
Yes, it does.
No.
Well, Kathy was like
no 13-year-old boy was into
11
English,
or 12, and she was topless. Okay. There was a reason it was a good movie to me.
Love.
Several times, in fact.
I no. There's too many other things in this world that you can watch to look for what you were looking for.
Sure, now
you don't have to sit through.
But when you were
13-year-old,
I'm going to say 11 to 13-year-old in a Southern Baptist Christian household, availability wasn't necessarily there. You took what you could get. I would grab a Braille Playboy and just kind of go to town on that.
Sears Roebuck was what we had.
Telling you what.
God bless America. It's 7:17.
I was gonna say that.
Yes, Roy.
I was gonna say that y'all are bringing up Kevin Costner, but not his best movie ever, Waterworld.
I love Waterworld.
Waterworld was actually good.
People bagged on Waterworld, but they liked Waterworld.
Full disclosure, Waterworld, I didn't like it at first, but it was my father-in-law at the time's favorite movie, so he would watch it ad nauseum. So I kind of gave it a chance, and I like it.
And to be honest, I think The Postman got Waterworlded.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is when Waterworld came out, it was like the most expensive movie of all time, and people bagged on it. But it was a hit. Like, it made money, and people watched it, and they like to bag on it. But most people, 5 years later, go, I love Waterworld. But at the time, everyone bagged on it like it was some bougie poo-poo thing.
Yeah.
And then The Postman came out. And so the people that liked...
So the ire of the people turned to the Postman.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the people, there was closet fans of Waterworld, but there was such a loud murmur about how bad that people claimed the movie was, but everyone loved and quoted.
See, and I heard that Kevin Costner got... there's a rumor that he got that killed his career, a Postman, but he just took a break.
I'm about to say,
reality.
His career's doing pretty good as far as I know. He's got one of the top shows on TV right now.
Yeah, but he took a little break after that movie.
Here's a question.
Well, that's not because the movie stunk.
What happened to Robert Redford?
He got old.
No, he got old, but he was in everything there for a minute, and then he's been in one movie.
He retired,
he retired. He was in one film a year ago.
Yeah, I think he's retired. He doesn't have to deal with that anymore.
Retired?
Yeah.
I mean, not passed away.
Like a retired farmer.
Like he said, I'm done acting. I'm going to live my life with whatever his family. And
I think it's called The Old Man with the Cane or something like that.
He did a movie, basically it was him on a boat, and he was trapped, or I can't remember exactly. I just heard people talking about it.
I'm pretty sure Robert Redford made quite a bit of money on all those hit movies he had in his earlier career.
I remember specifically hearing there was one movie that was his retirement movie, but then he showed up in Endgame, so that was technically his last movie.
Ah.
Oh yeah, he'll cameo from time to time. Like he was in the Marvel movies. Like the Civil War and those. He showed up in those. He was like the evil executive bad guy or something.
I just don't pay enough attention.
Yeah, he doesn't do leading.
I do have kids.
He doesn't do leading man movies. Big
Old
roles
Man and the Gun.
Oh.
By
the way,
that might be it.
FX has a show called The Old Man that looks really good that I've got sitting waiting for me to watch. So that's another one I got to start.
So what role are you in?
I'm mad that the offer's over.
Well, then get glad in the same pants you got mad in, Buck.
I missed the offer.
I understand. You can always go back. okay, so you're not me, so you don't really have this ability, but I could always go back and rewatch something and eke the same pleasure out of it the second, third, fourth watch, depending on
some
what
things
it
I
is.
can.
I've watched Breaking Bad as a series 3 times now.
Okay.
It's like, there are certain things that it's almost like a comfort zone.
I did that more as a single man. I don't do it as much
I do
now,
it.
Mary.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I do it a lot more with comedies because, like Hot Rod, for example. I could watch Hot Rod 1,000 times.
Certain comedies they do that. Like the Anchorman series for me is that.
Yeah.
All right, certain movies from my childhood when they pop on, like that. Silverado.
So I know you won't get the same joy of the surprise of the moments that you saw.
Yeah.
But in reliving it, you'll have those moments of, oh, it's coming. That part I love is coming. And that was always my enjoyment.
And I always can do that with movies or series that I haven't watched for a while. Like, okay, a movie you and I have talked about many times on this show.
Sure.
Rookie of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
I watched that way back when it was in theaters and all that, and was like, it was a movie, kids things, fun, didn't think much about it, and then I won't see it for like 5 years, and then someone will be watching it in a room I walk into, and then I sit down and enjoy it, watching it every, you know what I mean?
It's one of those
certain movies are like that.
I'll be honest, I haven't thought about that movie besides when we talk about it in years, like actually sitting down and watching it, but I still could watch it basically in my head. Like I've seen it enough times. That movie, the movie like Blank Check, for example, basically the entire works of Tone Loc from the 90s. Let's see.
Tone Loc,
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Blank Check. He was in like 1 or 2 more, but he always played that same dude.
He always played a cop or something like it, or because that's who he was in Ace Ventura. But I want to say there was another movie he's like a detective too. I don't know, but
And I'm thinking,
who's your favorite actor? Tone
the
Loc.
literary canon of Tone Loc. I'm a fan of.
Tone Loc, thespian. That's who I'm into.
That's right.
Not Tone Loc, artist,
Now,
musician.
don't get me wrong. I've always been a fan of Funky Cold Medina.
I don't think any of his songs are allowed to be played on the radio anymore.
Oh, well.
I think it's been Me Too or woked out of it. Now
that I think about it, now that R. Kelly's in jail for 30 years, I'm pretty sure that era's done.
Like, can Sir Mix-a-Lot play on the radio now without people getting all butthurt? Or will people take it?
Sir Mix-a-Lot's fine.
Why, though?
Because Sir Mix-a-Lot's innocuous.
I get it. I think it's funny, but why are the woke people giving him a pass?
My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
Why does he get the pass in the woke world where Biz Marquee or someone else would not?
Biz Marquee's fine too.
I know.
I'm sure.
I think the line is
Tone
DMX.
Loc. No, here's what it is. Tone Loc, his whole thing was Funky Cold Medina, Wild Thing. Basically, like, I'm going to get it by any means necessary. Whereas Sir Mix-a-Lot is just a fan of a plump posterior. That's all. Just a fan of a nice, healthy keister.
I think
He's
I know
just
what
exclaiming.
It is. I know what it is. Why? It's because Tone Loc made fun of dudes in drag. And
Could be also.
And
Yeah. Tone Loc was just a little bit more rough around the edges. He was still
Sir Mix-a-Lot just wanted to rape women.
Exactly. He was still family friendly, like to a point. Tone Loc, I'm talking about. But Sir Mix-a-Lot, I don't think there's anything in that song that's offensive. I mean,
You know what?
offhand.
Every song on the planet has something offensive that people's digging for. They just,
I cannot lie. Other brothers
somebody's
going to
be going in like Jingle Bells. I'm like,
When a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round
Hanson.
thing in your face, you get sprung. When I pull up tongue because I notice that butt was stuck. Deep in the jeans she's wearing.
He's just trying
I'm
to
hooked
show
and I
off
can't
now.
stop staring. Yo, baby, I want to get with you and take your picture. The homeboys tried to warn me that butt you got made. No, it's all pretty. Besides, it's there's nothing offensive in it.
I can't wait to see the day Hanson gets canceled for bop.
Oh, I think you meant Chris Hansen.
No.
I was like, why don't you have a seat? Why don't you have a seat, Chris?
I thought you were talking about John Hanson.
Yeah, we get excited.
Declaration of War, Declaration of Independence signer, and namesake of my middle school.
That's another one of those.
You mean John Hancock?
That's another
No,
one
no.
of those confession
John
moments, by the
Hanson.
way. I was a
He's from
fan
Maryland.
of Hanson.
No.
band.
John Hanson was a Maryland guy. He was named. My middle school was named John Hanson Middle School. He's named after one of the Declaration of.
Wait, repeat that, Sean?
No, I was a fan of Hanson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone was.
I had their-
at one,
well, I had their-
for like
their-
a second.
That is not accurate, Roy. I was no point ever a fan of.
You weren't the demo.
I was too young to be one, but
My favorite song for the record was called, I believe it was called Picture Unavailable. It was the first song on side B. Yes, it was a cassette.
I know and that's it. I know I could not
Same.
name a second Hanson song. I don't think.
Picture, it's either called Picture Unavailable or...
I'll admit, I'm a Backstreet Boys fan.
Man, I'm going to take a commercial break.
You should.
You start out and everything.
That's the line that we crossed?
In fairness, my sister was into Backstreet Boys, and to rebel, I got into NSYNC. So, touche.
Well,
how's it going?
How old are you again, Roy?
He's 28.
28. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, NSYNC might be in your rate. Like, when you were a kid, were they popular?
Well, NSYNC, yeah.
Okay. Then you're fine.
But I wasn't an NSYNC fan.
He's a Backstreet Boys fan.
Or Backstreet, same difference.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, they had more.
He went no.
I hit a.
They were more doo-wop.
What are Backstreet Boys fans called? Backies or something? What do they call you guys? I hit one, whatever it is.
Backstreet Boyfriends? I don't know.
Backy? I don't know. But because as soon as I said same
BSB.
difference, that's
right.
when you took offense. Oh no, sir!
Fans of the other band, you called them Insphincters.
The Instincts.
Yeah, you said Sean would be a fan of Hanson, so that's according to Andrew.
Well, I figured.
All right, it is 7:26. For the love of God, we're going to play some weather and a commercial and a commercial break, and then we'll be back.
Little moose boosh here.
Yeah, don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Waiters.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We can't rule out some showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon hours for the next couple of days with some of that monsoon air moving into eastern New Mexico. We will get some sunshine today as well. Our afternoon high will be in the upper 90s and isolated to scattered late day showers and thunderstorms. Overnight, partly cloudy, low 70s, and then maybe a late day storm again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Some things sound so good you can almost taste it. Like Bluebell Strawberry Lemonade Ice Cream. Delicious strawberry ice cream swirled with lemonade sherbet and sprinkled with lemon-flavored flakes. It's better than you can imagine.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Walmart Supercenters.
Oh! Shooters, get ready. The H.F. Sinclair Charity Freedom Clay Shoot is set for Saturday, July 16th at the Eddy County Shooting Range. Deadline to register is July 11th. 1 in 4 shooters win, with one winner drawn from each team. There's a big silent auction and fantastic prizes. A shotgun, rifles, pistols, coolers, smokers, and more. All shooters receive a gift and lunch, Friday night lights, and 5 stand shoot, plus a cookout is optional. Register online at artesiachamber.com. All proceeds benefit local Boy Scouts and community impact programs.
Imagine pool water that is extremely soft and gentle on hair, skin, and eyes. Soft Swim is a chlorine-free sanitizing system by BioGuard. Simple and easy, Soft Swim will give you a crystal clear pool that feels luxuriously soft. Your pool might just become the destination of the entire neighborhood. Application is a breeze, no mixing, no pre-dissolving, and routine maintenance is simple. Come to Mays Lumber Company today, the only dealer for Soft Swim by BioGuard.
You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
Time for the 86th Annual Lee County Fair and PRCA Rodeo, July 29th through August 6th at the Lee County Fairgrounds. This year, it's all about honoring our heritage. Come enjoy the Arts and Crafts Showcase, the Carnival, Extreme Bulls event, the PRCA Rodeo, the livestock shows, commercial vendors, and some of the best fair food in the state. And of course, the concert series with Ramon Ayala y sus Bravos del Norte La Leyenda, Friday, July 29th at 7 p.m. Tuesday, August 2nd, Randall King takes the stage at 9:30.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Wednesday, August 3rd, it's Zach Williams at 9:30.
He's a chain breaker.
Thursday, August 4th, don't miss the Randy Rogers Band at 9:30. Friday, August 5th, it's Joe Nichols at 9:30.
Yeah, tequila makes her clothes fall off.
And Cody Johnson on Saturday, August 6th at 9:30. Admission is free Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday all day, and every day before 5. $10 for adults, kids 6 to 12, $5, and 5 and under are free. More info at leecountyfair.net. See you at the Lee County Fair, July 29th through August 6th at the Lee County Fairgrounds.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger. something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
I don't dance to Pitbull. I just stand there and talk like he does. Good morning. It is 7:31.
That's, what's his name? Another one. That guy.
Yeah. I know.
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, DJ Khaled.
His whole thing, like, I don't even know if he does beats or if he produces the music. His whole thing is he just shows up on your record and screams his own name and then says another one.
Mm-hmm. And he
paycheck.
Yeah. Matter of fact, like Wendy's or one of the fast food joints used him in his commercial where he's just going another one. You know, doing. I don't remember the funny bit that went with it, but there was one. And yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
God bless him.
I should bring back the another one drop. I used to use that all the time.
God
it didn't really fit my
if
demo.
you figure out a way to be rich from that, God bless you.
That's the thing. It's infuriating.
It is.
It is infuriating. Like when I find out how much competitive eaters make,
yeah,
it's like, man, and you get a mustard yellow title belt.
It's the beauty of humanity. It's just there's some weird, dumb things that make us move the needle sometimes, and sometimes it's a guy eating hot dogs. Sometimes
there are certain moments in this world where you realize some people have way too much money, just way too much free, like not promised money.
By the way, you could eat 87,000 hot dogs. No one puts on your radar. You snap one guy's neck, and all of a sudden,
right?
Like all of a sudden, this Joey Chestnut guy's kind of a bad.
The beauty of it is
kind of a bad guy. He's kind of cool.
He did it. He had the guy. Like the guy came up to him. You've seen the video, right?
I have.
The guy came up to him. He just whips the arm around. It wasn't a choke. It wasn't the neck snap so much as it was a chokehold. And once he had the guy like incapacitated, he basically threw him away, made sure he was handled, and then turned around and kept going.
And
that
won.
Was a horrible gif. Don't gift me. And just kept stuffing hot dogs into his face. It was.
And he ended up winning again, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he won by a long shot. He didn't break his record. He ate 64.
Well, he may have broke the record if the PETA guy didn't show up.
Yeah, he definitely broke the record of the most hot dogs consumed while also choke holding a protester.
I'm seeing a new sport. I think WWE needs to get on this. Get Joey Chestnut in there and just have various wrestlers come at him while he's eating. And he come at me, bro.
Right.
And then he just takes them out while he's eating hot dogs.
That'd be great. Just get a bunch of mid-carders like the 24/7 championship. Yeah. Send like a Azir Tozawa out there or something.
Like he's just eating hot dogs. And like guys are coming in, random dudes with masks, and he's just eating hot dogs. I'd watch that.
Street Profits roll out. That'd be fun, yeah.
I mean, what's Chestnut got going on?
Pretty much the whole rest of the this.
Don't tell me
his
wrestling would be beneath that guy.
Hey,
I mean, come
Eaton season is his busy season. All right.
I understand that.
No, now that I don't know if you know this, it was made official earlier this week. Logan Paul is officially signed with the WWE.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like,
how many things is he going to be bad at?
People need to stop validating them.
Yeah, how many things does this guy going to do badly?
Well, that's just no. He surrounds himself with people that tell him that all these things are good ideas, and they continue to funnel money in his direction. So why would he stop?
Well, this is what happened. My opinion. I know some people are gonna get salty, but
we made him.
This is what people that really have no discernible talent or skills other than they're kind of charismatic or you know they have the ability to draw people. This is what you get with them. You know, it's like I'm
charismatic. It's placement, really.
Oh yeah,
like
it's
if I
right
was in
place.
SoCal
well,
and
people like that,
charismatic.
it's right place, right time, and let's face it, you would have to dedicate your whole life of YouTubing and that kind of thing to get on the radar of these people, to get to where they're. This being said, there is a lot of work to get to the point to appear like you're not doing anything.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It does.
Like he had to get his door slammed and get called an idiot and all this, which I'm not saying he's not still, because dang. But
no, this is the he and Logan Paul of all people is the one that committed the the cancelable offense of doing the video from the suicide forest.
Yeah.
He's the one that was done online for a long time. And so, I don't know. It's a bitter 30-something.
Well, and then when
sitting here and talking into my
when some folks get notoriety and fame, people also assume that comes with fortune, and it doesn't always.
No, it doesn't. It's true.
That's funny. I will not share that on the radio.
Fair enough.
but and so part of I think his problem is he's chasing the dragon. Like he's looking for the fame, he's looking for relevance, he's looking for.
But that's the thing. He found the best heroine because it's the one that keeps finding the dragon.
Well, some people have that commitment. Others don't.
He keeps on hitting him out of the park.
Well,
it bothers me a little bit.
I don't know if I'd call him hitting him out of the park. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
He's getting paid to be an idiot. What makes me mad is why are people paying him to do, you know what I mean? It's like, remember earlier we said a lot of people have money and you're like, they have too much money.
Fairness,
to me, that's
I will pay for stupid, but it has to be my kind of stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His stupid is a totally different brand of stupid, for a different demo of stupid people.
Yeah.
The stupid that I like is your jackassery, your CKYs, basically consensual hurt, I guess. People who are hurting themselves, but consenting to do so.
Yeah, but that's kind of a genre that's getting played out.
I know. I'm aware. I'm also getting played out in my older years.
Well, but let's face it. Anybody else that tries to do that is just going to be called a jackass wannabe.
A copycat. Yeah,
a copycat. And
it doesn't even have to be
wrong.
that. That can be morphed into something else because that itself.
Well, I guess my point is that was funny at the time.
Sure.
But now you do it. It's like, oh, come up with your own idea. Push it to the next thing. And
one of the things that in the early days of the Paul brothers that they got big on was a lot of their songs that kids were downloading and playing over and over again were literally saying, buy my merch. Their whole thing was spend money on our merch so you have our labels on your body for the clout or whatever.
Well, it's no different than any other company.
It's just infuriating.
They just did it,
blatantly.
Well,
at least when I'm,
I would say all of it's blatant. You just don't realize it's just more socially acceptable
maybe
than others.
because it doesn't appeal to my sensibilities. I'm more sensitive
every
to
company does the same thing. You don't think Nike's not running around saying, wear my brand, do my brand, do my brand?
But they're doing it a lot smoother and a lot less in your face
they have a lot
about
more,
it.
Well, this is a tactic. It's no different. It's the same end game, the same result. They just use a different tactic. And now we live in an age where kids don't think of themselves as human beings. They think of themselves as a brand.
Mm-hmm.
You got guys like RG3 running around. Here's my logo, my brand.
Right.
What are you talking about? You're a person. But that's what we live in today.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I'm not sure people our age and up don't realize that kids nowadays don't look at themselves necessarily as people. They look at them as brands, and how do I get my brand out there? And it's about that's why likes and follows are so important, because it's good for the brand.
Right.
I'm like, brand, but you got to have a product to have a brand. That's the problem.
Argument could be made that all of these ideas about the people being themselves being a brand is the reason that something like this isn't for us. Is the reason that attaining a Vine career isn't Vine. Wow, TikTok career.
Get the AOL account career.
You download your Netscape Navigator, and that'll take you to your internet port. Wow. But what I meant was because we don't adhere to the idea of person being brand, that maybe that door isn't going to be isn't open to us.
It isn't, but that's what that generation is into now.
But by God, I'm still going to use my platform to complain about it every day.
Yeah.
Because you put a microphone that's connected to a board and it goes out over the air. So that's why I'm doing it.
Who knows where it takes us next? But
Sad old men complain.
It's definitely a different mindset now, and one step closer to all of us being robots and all that good stuff. So 7:40, I should probably go ahead and play news and all that good stuff. So let's do that. Let's pause for local news, your Kim Commando update. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back and chit-chat and finish out the hour.
I, for one, welcome our robot overlords. I'm excited for their arrival. Now it's on audio record, too, so, I can prove it.
Well, see, I'll just play the Metallica song, Spit Out the Bone. That's a whole, if you ever watch the video, it's a whole about the machines taking over and all that. So it's that's going to be the theme song for when the machines take over.
I have to find it, but I found a meme that was like, I should have sent it to you yesterday.
Yeah.
It was Metallica font with basically, Hetfield in the front, and it said Master of Disguise. And it was Turtle Man. Dana Carvey Turtle Man from Master of Disguise. It was beautiful.
That is pretty good.
Master of Disguise isn't acting like turtles.
All right, we're going to take a break for news. Kim Commando, quick commercial break as well. We'll be back. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cerello. We have an update today to a case we first reported a couple of weeks ago regarding the deaths of two men at an oil field site in Eddy County. The Sheriff's Department providing an update Tuesday saying they do not suspect foul play in this case. Deputies responded to the oil field site near Highway 82 and Turkey Tract Road and found both men dead. The owner of the land is A&R Services based in Lovington. The Current Argus reports the company has not responded to calls for comment. Meanwhile, a third man who was found unresponsive at another oil field site this week is identified as being from Hobbs. 36-year-old Jose Martin Marino Nunez Jr. was found at the oil field site near Angel Ranch Road and Burton. That's north of Carlsbad Monday morning. A coroner pronounced the man dead at the scene. The sheriff's office in Eddy County says they do not suspect criminal activity in this case either. Chief Deputy Matt Hutchinson said there is no reason to suspect a threat to the public. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cerello.
If you still haven't accepted the fact that cybercurrency and most non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, have no real value and are built on a house of cards, then I've got the next risky digital investment for you right here. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by CarShield. Surprise breakdowns are easier to handle with a protection plan from CarShield. Save 10% at carshield.com/Kim. The metaverse is predicted to be the next big thing in digital blockchain investments. As you probably already know, Mark Zuckerberg wants to become the king of the metaverse, the make-believe computer-generated world where you can pretend to be anybody or anything. But to do it, you'll need an avatar. This is a computer-generated character that represents you in the metaverse. Naturally, you don't want an avatar that looks like anyone else, so you're going to have to buy your unique NFT avatar. I can't wait for these things to take off and see how high their value climbs before it just suddenly crashes back down to reality. Get breaking tech news at my website. That's commando.com. I believe home should be the safest place on earth for every family. That's why I use and recommend Simply Safe. Simply Safe is advanced whole home security that puts you, your home, and your family's safety first. Simply Safe offers comprehensive protection not only against intruders and burglary, but against expensive home hazards from flooding to fires. With 24/7 professional monitoring, Simply Safe's agents take action the moment a threat is detected, dispatching police or first responders in an emergency. Simply Safe uses proprietary video verification technology so that monitoring agents can visually confirm the threat in order to get higher priority 911 dispatch. Monitoring plans are affordably priced at $1 a day with no long-term contract or hidden fees. You can customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafekim.com. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring at simplysafekim.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We can't rule out some showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon hours for the next couple of days with some of that monsoon air moving into eastern New Mexico. We will get some sunshine today as well. Our afternoon high will be in the upper 90s and isolated to scattered late day showers and thunderstorms. Overnight, partly cloudy, low 70s, and then maybe a late day storm again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Remember former Goddard quarterback Dalton Bowles? Yeah, he's a linebacker now. He plays for New Mexico State University. We're just scanning the college football rosters, and Dalton is a junior for the Aggies this year. He started 7 games as a sophomore last year, had 27 tackles. His freshman year, he was at NMMI back in 2019. And taking a look at another roster, it's got plenty of local players. Eastern New Mexico University. Now all of these guys are sophomores, and not many of them got much playing time last year, so they're looking to make an impact this year. TJ Fletcher, he's a defensive back from Roswell. His former teammate Talon Sanders, also defensive back from Roswell High. From Goddard, Fernando Rubio on the D-line for ENMU, and Nate Stone, sophomore wide receiver for the Greyhounds. Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Many Americans don't expect to rely on the digital services that became commonplace during the pandemic after COVID-19 subsides, according to a new poll. Even as many think it's a good thing if those options remain available in the future. Close to half or more of U.S. adults say they are not likely to attend virtual activities, receive virtual health care, have groceries delivered, or use curbside pickup after the coronavirus pandemic is over, according to a poll from the Associated Press Nork Center for Public Affairs Research. Scandinavian Airlines on Tuesday filed for bankruptcy in the United States, warning a walkout by 1,000 pilots a day earlier had put the future of the carrier at risk. The move adds to the likelihood of travel chaos across Europe as the summer vacation period begins. Stockholm-based airlines said it had voluntarily filed for Chapter 11 in the United States. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Sometimes when you hit the road hits back. That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
Well, the biting bugs and the ferocious flyers are out in force, and if you don't take care of them now, you'll be swatting and scratching all summer. Makes me itchy just thinking about it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether it's keeping the fleas and ticks off your animals or keeping the flies and mosquitoes away from your barbecue, you gotta use the right stuff, and you gotta do it at the right time. So come see us now at Roswell Seed Company, and don't let the bugs tick you off. Get it? Tick.
Bob Reed Pest Control has been providing pest management services for over 50 years and continues to set high standards for their customers. Protect your home, family, and pets from destructive, poisonous, and disease-carrying pests. All of Bob Reed Pest Control's licensed technicians are continuously trained and knowledgeable in the latest pest management practices, offering effective treatment plans for any situation. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today, 575-623-5344, and find them fast in names and numbers.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:50. Got a few minutes here before the top of the hour. Did I turn yours on? I did not.
You didn't turn me on.
I apologize. I did not mean to do that. Where'd my July thing go? I can't find it. Oh, well. I was going to do blood drive for July, but I can't find my paper that says when the blood drives are. So, because I'm unorganized.
If you want more info, you can always visit vitalent.org.
Yeah. They got the Battle of the Badges coming up here mid-July, by the way, and we're going to have them on to talk about that. I got to get some times for Stephanie. It's just reminding me of that. Thank me for reminding myself about
myself.
reminding myself.
Thank myself. I should do that more often.
I'd like to thank me for reminding me to do that.
Talent Roswell.
But but I know this. The Battle of the Badges. If you're not familiar with that, it's a statewide event, and then each it's gone on by Vitalent statewide, and it pits the firefighters versus the police officers in a collection of blood. So the winner is all of us because they encouraging people to donate blood, and then you can kind of pick does your blood count towards the firefighters or towards the police officers. You get T-shirts, and they have a lot of fun with it. But at the end of the day, the whole point's to collect as much blood to get the blood supply back. They do this during the summer because summer months are the quiet months for blood donations. Believe it or not, schools, high schools in particular, are one of our main resources for blood donations in the state of New Mexico.
Oh, I believe it. You know why I believe it? Because kids will do anything to get out of a class.
Yeah.
What's that? You're not feeling well? Go to the nurse for 10 minutes. What's that? Blood donation? I'm in.
Well, at first they're like, you ain't taking my blood. There'll be cookies. All right, let's go.
Right. You'll get juice and a cookie and time out of class.
But yeah, whatever the reason be, it is what it is. It's high schools generally during the school season. There's more blood on the shelves, so they do battle the badges in the summer to kind of keep the blood supply going and all that.
It's off topic, but it just reminded me when I was in high school, there was a dress code protest. When I was in freshman year.
Oh, what was the protest?
That there was going to be a stricter dress code. We weren't going to be allowed to wear like the clothes that we wanted.
And how'd that go for you?
Well, so the students staged a walkout.
Yeah?
And students who could give a crap about the dress code.
That's usually how it is.
We were like, what, we're walking out? Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm so in. I wear jeans and a t-shirt every day anyways. I don't care, but I'm in.
Yeah.
I'll stand up for the rights of my fellow students.
So what happened? Like what?
We kept our relatively decent dress code. We did have to tuck our shirts in, which became really annoying.
Okay.
Teachers would walk around the hall going, tuck your shirt in. It's like, God.
Yeah, I had that my whole school life.
The tuck your shirt in thing?
I had that my whole school life. Yeah.
I really didn't. I had, now I went to
high school, it went away, but
I went, my first 3 years of schooling, I was at a Catholic school. So kindergarten through second grade. So I wore a uniform.
Suits. Yeah, like a uniform.
Well,
did you get the paddling?
No, I didn't get to paddling. There was a paddling to getting, but I wasn't a paddling to get. I didn't get a paddling. But now kindergarten, I wore whatever I want because I had my best '70s attire, golf pants and plaid, what have yous and whatnot. But first and second grade, I had to wear a Catholic uniform, which for the boys at Mount Calvary.
It's like a suit, like a tie.
No,
jacket.
For us it was ugly because our school colors were yellow and green.
Ooh.
So I had a yellow polo, and green slacks.
Oh God.
The ladies wore a yellow polo and a green and white plaid skirt with suspenders, like as the uniform there, with a yellow blouse as the uniform.
That's so 80s.
And then I remember they were doing a school fundraiser, like when I was in first grade, I think. And it was, you could buy Mount Calvary stocking caps for like $1 or something. And so I, for a while, had a green and yellow stocking cap with a little green and yellow ball on the top.
Right.
And it had like the trucker patch sign that was right on the part that sits on your forehead. And it said in just regular block print, Mount Calvary is no one.
Is no one?
Well, NO, but it was supposed to be number one, but it just said NO and then the number one.
God.
It's about Calvary is no one.
Why couldn't you just put the number symbol and the number one? Is no one? That's so funny.
So that was.
I would buy it just for the bit. I mean.
And then for walkouts go. Great. My freshman year of high school.
Mm-hmm. It's always freshman year.
Yes, it was my freshman year, and our high school.
Never sophomore year.
There was and ours was more legit. So we actually got some news and all this stuff. But apparently the ventilation system was atrocious in the high school, and it was filled with some kind of spores or mold that what was it called, like Aspergillus nigerius or some kind of Latin. Wow. Anyway, some people were getting sick,
right?
And some parents caught wind. They told their kids, and all of a sudden the kids. I was a freshman. I had no planning or leadership. I just was in class, and everyone said we're walking out. And I said, all right, let's go. But they did a walkout like in the middle of the day, and the whole place walked out. And sure enough, it worked. They canceled school. The school was closed for a week while they completely re-cleaned the ventilation system and all that, all because of a walkout.
We were the same thing happened to me.
Oh yeah,
yeah. The for the class of Goddard class of 2011, we'll remember this. We had asbestos in the ceilings. I mean, in the roof.
Okay.
And then we all turned out, and then we all learned we were immune to asbestos that day.
How did it affect us? Well, now the mesothelioma is coming. Don't worry.
Well, yeah, 50 years later.
Yeah. But no, we did get told beforehand by administrative staff that we would be punished if we did so. But our mindset was they can't get us all.
I think that's kind of what the same deal. They were threatening, and teachers like, don't go out there, you're going to be suspended. And of course, by the time I went out there, everybody and their uncle was already out there. I was just I'm that guy that would sit there and just be like, what's everybody doing? I'll just stand here. All right, let's go on. All right, then I'll go.
It felt like when I was in high school, especially here in Roswell, it was almost like a Wild West scenario. Like I don't, and maybe I'm just misremembering it, but like we had like the smokers corner. It's like, and I know there was nothing that the school staff could have done about it, but it was because it was off school property.
Yeah.
But like I distinctly remember like there was a packed corner right across the street from, I think it was the gym, where like all the cool kids would hang out and smoke.
Well, they used to I think before I was there, they would let kids that were 18 smoke in like a courtyard we had. And then that all changed when I went to school, maybe a year or two
they
after.
Just let them?
Well, yeah, this was the 80s.
Right.
Okay.
So it was a little different time. But that policy was going away like right when I got there. And the thing was, you couldn't leave school property. So if a kid left school property, they get suspended for leaving school property, not for smoking. So if they literally stood across the street staring at the principal smoking, they're like, you're off school property, you're getting suspended. So that wouldn't fly either.
Well, see, now I will say this, because we had closed campus too.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a suspendable offense, but we definitely had closed campus. But this was before and after school. So it was it was always before school hours that I would catch him, because I would sometimes go over there and hang out with some of the band kids or whatever. But
I got you.
And then it was after school was they would kind of congregate again.
Well, I'm sure we had those places too.
Yeah.
I was never one to hang out after school. I didn't
want to be there when you were supposed to be there.
Before I could drive, I was a bus kid, so I went right to the bus and then go bus home.
See, I never had the pleasure of driving to school, to high school, because we lived 2 blocks from the school. Now, where that came in handy was I could walk straight, and I'm just giving kids pro tips now. I could walk straight off the campus because you just keep going past the band hall, the to the soccer or to the track.
Yeah,
keep going past the track, and 2 blocks and I'm home.
This is a Roswell high.
Yeah. Well, no. Here's the thing. They figured it out since then. There's a giant fence all around the campus now. But yeah, back in the day, like I said, it was a Wild West scenario. You know, we just kind of did what we wanted. I barely made it out of high school.
We did dumb things in high school too. We just didn't have Facebook and Twitter and Instagram to share it all on.
I'm pretty sure the only reason I graduated was because my algebra teacher in senior year of high school didn't want to see me again.
I bet there's probably, in my case too, probably a few of my classes, they were like, we're going to pass you.
We're just going to push you through.
Just so we don't have to see you again.
You're the nation's problem now.
I know, everything is so much better in school now. It's bullcrap.
Yeah. All right, it is 8 o'clock. We got to get right into news here. You are listening to, well, it's radio. Is any good? I don't know. But you listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side. Do not go away.
I think we're pretty good.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Charges filed against the man accused of carrying out the July 4th shooting rampage at a parade in suburban Chicago, with a host of additional charges expected.
21-year-old Robert Cremo III is accused of killing 7 people, wounding dozens of others in an attack on an Independence Day parade in Highland Park, Illinois. State's Attorney Eric Reinhardt says he's charged with 7 counts of first-degree murder.
A mandatory life sentence should he be convicted, without the possibility of parole.
Investigators say police recalled 2 incidents in 2019 involving Cremo, an apparent suicide attempt, and later in September, threats against family members. Despite all that, in December 2019, with his father as a sponsor, he applied for a state police gun owner's license. Through that, he legally bought 5 firearms. I'm Tim McGuire.
Major polling organization reports that trust in our society's major institutions is waning. Gallup says we are less confident in those institutions today than we were a year ago, with significant declines for 11 of the 16 institutions sampled and no improvements for any of them. Small business, the military, and the police get the highest ratings among those surveyed, while big business, TV news, and Congress are at the bottom of the heap. More troubled for embattled British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, fighting to hold on to power following the resignation of 2 top ministers who say they no longer have confidence in his leadership and can no longer serve in his government. In recent weeks, Johnson has been fined by the police and slammed by an investigator's report over lockdown-breaching parties that were held during the depths of the coronavirus pandemic. On Wall Street, stocks in the red. The Dow is down about 53 points. The S&P is off 7. The Nasdaq trading 18 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon 2 factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
1 million Muslim pilgrims converging on Mecca for the largest Hajj since the coronavirus pandemic severely curtailed access to one of Islam's 5 pillars. Saudi Arabia's decision to allow some 850,000 Muslims from abroad to make the annual pilgrimage, which begins tomorrow, marks a major step toward normalcy after 2 years of a drastically scaled-down Hajj that was restricted to Saudi residents only. More than 1,000 grieving family and community members attending the funeral in South Africa's East London for 21 teenagers who died in a mysterious tragedy at a nightclub almost 2 weeks ago. It's still not known what caused the deaths of the young people aged between 13 and 17. All were under the legal drinking age of 18 in South Africa, and pathologists studying the cause of death from blood samples. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Justice Department settles a decades-old lawsuit filed by a group of men rounded up by the government in the weeks after 9/11.
The settlement calls for a $98,000 payout among the 6 men who filed the suit and were held without terrorism charges at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn in conditions that the department's own watchdog called abusive and harsh. The men allege they were detained in restrictive conditions and in some cases abused by members of the staff. The settlement is somewhat unusual because federal courts at nearly every level, including the Supreme Court, had thrown out large chunks of the lawsuit. Ron DeRockster reporting.
A contract between shipping companies and 22,000 West Coast dock workers has expired, but both sides continue talking, saying they want to avoid a strike that could savage an economy already stressed by soaring inflation and supply chain woes. Once again on Wall Street this hour, the Dow is down 3 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The diabetes.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters. Right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Okay, just to continue what we were doing. So we were, the three of us were chit-chatting during the break here. Yeah. And we were talking about movies that kind of stick with you and stuff when I were kids. And then also it's also turning in. Have you heard of this movie, Roy? But the one that we were just cutting into right before we went on air was Cocoon. Mm-hmm. Because you mentioned Folks.
Yes.
The movie with Tom Selleck and Don Amici. And we said, man, I haven't talked about Don Amici. And I said, oh, remember Cocoon? And then Roy didn't know what Cocoon was. And so we were about to get into Cocoon.
I feel like I've heard the name before.
It was a huge hit. Was Spielberg or someone behind it? It was someone like that. The premise of the movie, and they did a sequel. That's how you know it was a big hit in the 80s.
Cocooner.
Cocoon.
Cocoon 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Actually, it was about a Frank Sinatra's type. It was called Cocooner. But anyway, so the premise of the movie was, so there's a group of elderly folks that live in...
Ron Howard.
Oh, Ron, that's it. I knew it was someone big, Ron Howard. So a group of elderly folks are living in a senior living nursing home. Mm-hmm. And so they usually there was a group of these senior citizens that would sneak out of the home and break into like an old resort or like country club that was next door, mm-hmm. and they go swimming in the pool. The pool was perfectly fine, by the way. I don't know why, but the rest of the place was abandoned. But the pool was fine. And so they would break in and go swimming. Well, turns out a group of people bought the property. Turns out they're aliens. Mm-hmm. And so they found, I guess they had more of their kind buried in the ocean. So they hired Steve Guttenberg, who's like a down-on-his-luck boat owner at some barnacle-laden place. And so he gets in with the group and helps them go, and then finds out they're aliens and all that. And they bring, to preserve the rocks that have their people in them, they put them in this pool. They buy that country club and put them in the pool. Well, the old people keep breaking in and swim despite these big rocks swimming in the pool. And it turns out it's like a fountain of youth for them. Mm-hmm. And so these half a dozen old people are now like got the spryness of a 30-year-old. And so after they go to the pool, they're like getting more randy. They're getting more youthful. And
sounds like a Jordan Peele movie.
And, well, there was no Jordan Peele. He was not relevant at the time.
I know.
But, and it was a huge hit. It was a summer blockbuster. And at the time, it starred the one Steve Guttenberg was a big deal at the time.
Yeah, everybody in it had Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley was a huge. Don Amici.
Betty Grable was in there.
Yeah, there was a bunch of famous stars in there. A lot of
who made Independence Day? The director.
I think that was Ron Howard.
Was that Bruckheimer?
It might have been Bruckheimer.
I think it was Bruckheimer.
No, it was the same guy that did Day After Tomorrow. Well, that guy. That sounds like a movie he would make.
Simpson? No, that's Top Gun, I think.
Roland Emmerich. Really?
Oh,
Roland Emmerich.
Okay.
That was an Emmerich movie?
Was it?
Emmerich movies are traditionally terrible. I guess Independence Day wasn't that great by memory, but like,
yeah, that's right.
I've listened to a podcast where a guy basically goes through and hate watches all of Roland Emmerich's movies. Like 2012 is an example of a prime example of a Roland Emmerich movie, which is like,
I've never sat through that to this day.
I watched that in theaters.
It's a disaster movie, but these things happen in this movie that just don't make any sense and take you completely out of the experience. Prime example, in 2012.
That's the one with John Cusack, right?
Or no, I'm sorry, not 2012.
Yes.
Day After Tomorrow. Day After Tomorrow. Okay. So in Day After Tomorrow, they're fleeing from this like wall of ice that's chasing after them. They're trying to like get away from the ice that's coming after them. So they run into this room with this steel door and they shut the door. And for some reason, that stopped the ice.
Oh.
Really? The door did it.
Did they like...
I was like, okay, all right. That's one powerful door.
They must have consulted M. Night
Just
Shyamalan Ding
stopped
Dong.
the hand of God.
Yeah, they must have consulted M. Night Shyamalan there to get the ending for that one.
They're friends.
Yeah, he makes me mad every time.
Mm-hmm.
The Happening should not have been made.
No.
That movie, I should get my money back.
No,
M.
in
Night
fairness-
Shyamalan owes me $850 for that movie.
The happening needed to happen. If for no other reason than to give us the Mark Wahlberg. What? No.
That movie made me. To this day, I'm so
still
mad.
one of my favorite memes.
That movie makes me mad.
You're waiting to kill me. What?
I could have wrote The Happening because there was no story.
Yeah, it was.
They got you reeled in with all this craziness, and they just said, "Oh, it just went away." Don't give me that, you lazy bum. God,
Well, sometimes when you write yourself in a corner, you just walk out of that room.
He does it every movie, and
you
he
just
draws
step
me
on
in.
over story and walk on
And
out.
they get you wrapped in this whole thing, and then it's like no big deal at the end. It just stopped. I'll punch you in your kidney, man. That's not right.
The one that really got me on that was because it came out right after Sixth Sense, so you kind of thought, okay,
Yeah, he reeled us in with a great story.
He's got some
And
respectability.
then they gave us 12 turds right after that.
It was oh my gosh, I can't remember what the name of it is. The next one he came out with.
It was the one with Samuel Jackson.
Are you talking about the Bruce Willis one?
Impact or Break?
Unbreakable. That was good.
Yeah.
That was like his third or fourth.
No,
The
that
one-
was right after Sixth Sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
The Village?
Okay, so we had a couple. The Village.
Yeah, that
movie,
one-
That was. Oh, I hated that movie.
Well, that's another one of those movies that reeled me in and all this, and it turns out, by the way, you're just stuck in a...
Just walk away.
Yeah. The Walmart's right over there. It's like you. All right.
That's the real twist of M. Night Shyamalan's career is that we keep giving him credence to do this.
His career is like his movies. The first one, he got us. He reeled us in, and then he just gave us turd after turd after turd.
That was the twist. It's been turds the whole time. We just didn't see it at the beginning.
There's
It's
a couple
exactly
people right
Bruce
now
Willis.
going, well, what about this? No, it stunk too.
It's exactly Bruce Willis's character arc in The Sixth Sense. He's been dead the whole time. Spoiler alert. We just didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Shyamalan's been bad this whole time. We just didn't realize it.
What about Windbender or Airbreaker or whatever?
That
all
movie
stunk.
I was about to bring that up.
An abortion. That movie was terrible.
I was a stupid kid when that came out, so I actually enjoyed it. And then now I'm realizing how bad it actually was.
The Airbender or whatever it's called. Yeah. Woof.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan ripped us all off.
I will argue that movie is bad. But have you ever seen After Earth
I think I have.
with Will and Jaden Smith?
I've seen part of it. That's what
You
it is.
saw
I
enough of it to walk away.
I was like, okay, whoa. Oh, yeah, all right. What else is on? What is this, Mr. Bean? Yeah, I'll take that.
So I will stand in defense of M. Night Shyamalan, if only to say After Earth was worse.
Speaking of Mr. Bean, I got to get this off, and then we got to go.
Yeah.
Apparently on, I think it's Netflix, there's a Rowan Atkinson Mr. Bean-esque show he did recently. There's about a season of them, but they're only like 10-minute shows.
So like perfect.
Yeah.
So it's because that's Mr. Bean itself was always like 7 to 10
I just remember seeing it on Netflix like last week or
I know
something.
what you're talking about.
And it's something with Rowan Atkinson. They're like 10-minute shorts. There's a season of them. It looks very Mr. Bean-like. I don't think it's Mr. Bean, but
Man versus Bee or whatever.
something. Yeah, that sounds right. Man versus Bee. That sounds right.
Man versus Bee?
Yeah, bees.
I know you got to go. But...
Bees. Yes, just the bees. So, all right, he's going to look at that. I'm going to get you your weather. Here. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We can't rule out some showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon hours for the next couple of days with some of that monsoon air moving into eastern New Mexico. We will get some sunshine today as well. Our afternoon high will be in the upper 90s and isolated to scattered late day showers and thunderstorms. Overnight, partly cloudy, low 70s, and then maybe a late day storm again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 79 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 54%. Winds are calm at the moment. We do have a 20% chance at some rain this afternoon. It's monsoon season. It's like that every day. A 20% chance of showers. They say between noon and 3 is actually our sweet spot today. Mostly sunny and hot otherwise with highs near 100, 99 officially. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, not much talk of rain, just partly cloudy skies with an overnight low of 74 degrees. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, 20% chance. Sorry, hiccup there. 20% chance at afternoon showers. Sunny, hot. Highs once again right around 100. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, also looking at a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 72. Winds will be out of the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Rain chances continue into Friday. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise mostly sunny and hot. 98 for a high on Friday with north winds 5 to 10. 20% chance of rain Friday night. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 72 with and then Saturday, 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Sunny and hot, high of 98. Saturday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 73. Sunday, sunny and hot with a high of 100. Sunday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 74. Monday, sunny and hot with a high of 102. And then rain chances back in the forecast Monday night. So, looks like other than during the day Saturday, that's about it for rain chances this weekend. Of course, it is southeast New Mexico. That will change at the drop of a hat around here. It's what it does. All right, it is 17 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break. We're going to replay. We have not seen anybody from the refuge, so we're going to play our interview we had yesterday with Robert Sherman from the Walker Aviation Museum. That's coming up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
It's an old story. You go on vacation, you relax, you have a good time, and then you come home to a world of disarray. Your mail is backed up. You have 100 messages on your voicemail. Your lawn is 3 feet tall, and your pool has developed a nasty algae problem. Well, the good people at BioGuard can't solve all your problems, but they can help you with your pool. So before you go on vacation, stop at Mays Lumber at 115 South Virginia in Roswell and ask about their special vacation plan. BioGuard has a wide variety of products that will find algae and take care of your pool. So when you come home from your vacation, you can depend on your pool to relieve your stress and not add to it. Because BioGuard guards more than your pool. They guard your time, your vacation, and your peace of mind. BioGuard at Mays Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell.
We cut to order, special order, products old and new. You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
On June 23, 1937, Central Valley Electric Cooperative was incorporated as the first rural electric cooperative in New Mexico. 85 years later, members of CVE still benefit from the hard work and foresight of yesterday's co-op pioneers. Co-op electricity makes barns and basements brighter, homes more comfortable, and businesses more competitive. CVE members have seen many changes over the years, but one thing hasn't changed: our dedication to providing you safe, reliable, and affordable power. CVE, proud to celebrate 85 years of powering our members' lives.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he was from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman back with us. Morning, Robert. How you doing today?
I'm okay. How you doing?
Doing good. How was UFO Festival and 4th of July weekend for everybody?
It was
for you
good.
guys?
I was the only one holding down the fort because Bob Donnell is in California with his kids, and Ted Smith, my other partner out there, has been sick for about 3 weeks. So.
Oh, no.
And Bob Donnell had COVID. He got over that, and his wife. But so anyway, we it kind of affected some of the things we were doing. We had some Roswell Job Corps people coming out, but we had to cancel that because of them being sick and nobody there to do anything. And we had a group of New Mexico Youth Challenge come out. I had 8 of them. We were supposed to have 16, but 2 groups. But one of the groups, again, they had a COVID issue come up, so they had to cancel that. So anyway, we're expecting hopefully to get some of those Job Corps people out there toward the end of this month and in August.
Good deal. And they get to see all of the cool stuff that...
we're going to put them through about 2.5 hours of a combination of seeing 15 different potential careers, STEM careers, and then the other half of the time they're there to be flying the flight simulators. So.
Good deal. Who knows? Maybe 1 or 2 of those Job Corps students will turn out to be pilots someday, or aircraft
help relieve
mechanics.
the 13,000 shortage that they got.
Yeah, about to say, way we're looking at for pilots right now, we could probably use some of these folks to step up, get into that training. So.
That's right. So.
I'm pretty sure if you have a pilot's license right now, you could pick the airline of your choice to work at right now. So
yeah, we're still kind of struggling. We've got a couple people. Ted's joined us, and some other Allie Bishop has joined our group, and she's now a treasurer. Our former treasurer, she's going to be a full-time teacher over at Gateway.
Okay.
So she let that up. But anyway, we've trying to gain some more folks so we have a more flexibility when it comes to scheduling people, because we need about 3 people out there when we're doing a tour.
Okay.
But I think we're going to get Youth Challenge has already said they could probably get several of their instructors over, and we can get them up to speed on the flight simulator, and they can be an instructor.
Oh, good deal.
It'd be kind of fun for them, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Who knows? Could be bite the bug for some of these students and everything else, and get them involved and find their passion here. So that's really good. How was the museum over the weekend here? I imagine you had a few out-of-town guests come walk through the doors of the museum.
About 135 total over the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Part of that included a tour of anywhere from 15 to 25 people came in that took that little tour. They go to the Roswell Daily Record, and then they went over to the theater and had a little play about 1947 incident. And then they came by to see us briefly. So anyway, we were open from 8 until 4. Normally we're open just 2 hours prior to the midday departure, which is right now about 10:02.
Okay.
So I'm going straight from here out there myself and be out there till a little after 10.
Okay.
So, but it's, as a retired person and doing that, it's always a positive thing because you meet people from all over the country, and inevitably you meet one or two people that are really fun to talk to and interesting.
Sure.
Every time you go out. So it kind of like, that made it worth it coming out here. Just,
you just get to meet a lot of people. And so I imagine you had probably a lot more 1947 questions this weekend.
Well, we did a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of people's the roll of the bass during that time.
Too focused on 47 ourselves, but anyway, we kind of made that happen. But we got several interesting questions when we got out there, like where are all the underground hangars and where the CIA hang out? Bunch of other questions. I'm just kind of like, seriously, what are you talking about?
I'm like, they got a break room. It's underground. That's why they're called underground.
I could have said I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
That's right. Well, they're underground, of course. That's why they're called underground hangars.
But it hit me with a lot of questions that they've been briefed on during various speakers and stuff, and I didn't have a clue what they're talking about.
Yeah, they probably got a few of those. Where, did you know there's a secret? What? Okay. Keep looking, bud.
So underground hangars, that'd be a pretty big hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway,
not to mention keeping it secret that time. But anyway,
who knows? They may have been right. And I wouldn't know what's going on.
But could be.
Yeah.
Could be like, they're over here. Let me push a button. Hold on.
Yeah. So anyway, just to let everybody know, first of all, WAFBmuseum.org. You can go to there, and when you go to that site, you can see our newsletter. And if you're on the computer looking now, I'm holding it up. But we just have our newsletter, and you can read, all the several pages of that.
Good.
That came out in May. And let's see. So, go on there. You can get a contact point, and we have an email that you can send us, and some other things there.
If you're interested in becoming a member of the Walker Air Force Space Museum, serving on the board, if you'd like to volunteer to work as a docent, or if you have a youth group or a group that would like to come and set up a time to come towards the museum, the Walker Air Force Base website is a great resource for that, WAFBmuseum.org.
And on the third page of the newsletter, which you'll get to read, has our telephone number out there. It has a Facebook page. It has an email address, and it has our website.
Yeah, very good.
So you can.
And, of course, if you want to donate money direct to the museum, there is a link on the website to do that as well, too.
Right.
And for folks that aren't aware, the Walker Air Force Base Museum is a museum that, goal one, tells people about the history of Roswell Army Airfield and Walker Air Force Base, that end of town called home during World War II and Cold War era. Mm-hmm. And then it also covers the Roswell in this area's role during the Cold War era with the Minutemen missiles and all that kind of stuff, the Atlas and all that.
Yeah, and as I mentioned to people that come in, about 70%, I guess, of our mission is the history. Mm-hmm. We have a couple touch screens that you can get a 2-minute history of the Atlas missile, 2-minute history of Walker and the Roswell Army Airfield, and then we have YouTube computers running all the time where you're seeing a movie or whatever. And like I'm going to talk to you about, I suggest everybody, all the audience out there tonight, I know you're driving and you can't write this stuff down, but I'll give you some hints on something to watch. It's really interesting YouTube video that we found. And so right now, our current board members and active volunteers are myself, Allie Bishop's our treasurer, Katie Yates, Sandy Correa, Secretary Bob Donnell, Juliana Halverson, Judy Armstrong, Jerry Cloffer, Friar Jurek, Norwalki, and Stephen Miller, and Ted Smith.
Okay.
So anyway, appreciate these folks being part of our group and keeping things rolling. So we have 3 volunteers right now that go out to the museum about 2.5 hours a day, prior to the midday airline departure. Right now, it's departing around 10:02, so we go out about 8 o'clock until about 10:15, 10:30.
Okay.
And that's myself, Bob Donnell, and Ted Smith.
Very good. Good deal. Go out there and then, of course, meet folks coming in or going out of town, and hopefully they spend a few minutes touring the museum and reading about some of the information that went on here in this part of history.
About 70% of what we do is history. The other 30% is dealing with the flight simulators.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is so if you've got young folks and families that want to learn more, that's the other side of the museum is that STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, teaching that, showing careers that use all that STEM-related technology that are kind of in career fields that you would have found at Walker Air Force Base Museum.
Matter of fact, I'll go over those here in just a second. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's that in of itself, and because the with the mission of the Walker Air Force Base Museum, preserving that history and keeping tabs on what happened here during the World War II and the Cold War era, but also creating that next generation of pilots and engineers and scientists and mechanics and airline industry experts and military experts and things like that. This is we're hoping to set the table for that, and that's what they do with all this. So really, when the museum's not showing the history of the base, they're using that time to inspire kids to perhaps pursue careers in engineering and pilots and aircraft industry and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And we couldn't be doing this if it wasn't for Excel Energy Foundation, which gave us a nice grant that got the 2 flight simulators.
Good deal.
So we appreciate that. I'm actually right now writing an after-action report, that you get a grant, and about a year or so later they ask you, well, how'd it go and what,
how the money, what'd you do with the money, that kind of thing.
Yeah. How's the new car that you bought?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, them ribs were tasty.
Yeah. No, they've done a great job for helping us out, and we really appreciate it. We need, for example, we've coordinated so far with, Roswell Independent School District, Ruben Bolaños, who's a STEM coordinator for schools, Sidney Gutierrez, Charter School, Gateway School, All Saints Catholic, the Assurance Home, Civil Air Patrol, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, New Mexico Youth Challenge, Job Corps, local churches, and Eastern New Mexico University STEM department. And we've also been touching base with people come in here from Dexter and Hagerman and, Artesia, say, come on, if you can, just call us, get set up a time. We'd love to have you come up and go through. Only problem with us, we've got 2 simulators and we've got a fairly small area, is that we can handle and effectively work this with about only 8 people per visit.
Okay.
So we get 8 people for 2.5 hours. And they come in, and what we do is give them like a 10-minute or 12, 15-minute thing on the history of Walker and Roswell Army Airfield. And then we break them into 2 groups of 4, and they end up getting to be a pilot or co-pilot on the simulator for an hour.
Okay.
So they get about half an hour each. And then the other 4 get 15 different, we'll get some different videos that kind of opens up their eyes to some stuff they may not have thought about as they're approaching high school, or as they're high school getting ready to go to college. So some of those things like are how to choose a major, and this is talking about a Venn diagram. It's a thing where you pick what you're good at and what people pay you for and what you're passionate about.
Gotcha.
In the center where they all overlap is kind of what you should do as a career, because that way, like they say, you can work all your life but never work a minute of your life because that's your passion.
Sure.
You know what I mean, that type of stuff.
If you're able to find what
yeah, if you can
love,
find that.
and then you figure out some way for people to pay you to do it.
And then we show them a video like the following: Science, Technology, and Math Overview, Careers in Aviation, Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Aviation Maintenance Technician Program, A Day in the Life of a Wind Turbine Engineer, Crumlin Auto Group, and Eastern New Mexico University Auto Mechanic Program, stuff like that. It just goes on and on. And then we end up with some Air Force, real short, kind of like recruiting videos that are really interesting. One is a technical training overview, Air Force aerospace ground equipment, aerospace air traffic control, Air Force electronic principles, U.S. Air Force geospatial intelligence. And the last one we show them is a day in the life at CIA.
Ooh.
And they talk about 6 different hiring areas that the CIA has, and a lot of them are in the science technology area.
Sure.
So it's kind of like...
I guess, and imagine all of it's not secret.
Yeah, we got that
squirrel,
idea because some of the science magazines, like Science News, they had big full-page ads, color ads on the back, CIA advertising, hey, you interested in science, come see us, you know. So anyways, it's just kind of fun.
Yeah.
Kids get a chance to do that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully it inspires these next generations of kids to pursue these careers and to go, whether it's the CIA or they're working on a flight line, repairing aircraft and things like that. That's, all of them are great careers and great paths for futures for these kids. So I hopefully these kids come out there and one or two of them get the bug and get bit and get interested in that kind of stuff. And I'm very, very curious to see if they get another resurge in the military with the new Top Gun movie. Like they did the first time in the 80s when that Top Gun movie came out. I'm sure the Navy and Air Force too probably got a little boost in recruitment and things like that. I know it's a Navy movie and those are Navy folks, but some people see planes and they...
Well, I like Navy guys. We really worked really close when I was in the Air Force on our job with the Navy, because the Navy actually, to be honest with you, had a better program. We were dealing with aerospace physiology, human factors, effects with flyers and stuff, but the Navy had a really good aggressive program. So to be honest with you, we were, in partners with them and copying a lot of stuff that they had done that had been very successful.
Well, and that makes sense. I mean, they chew a lot of the same dirt there with the aviators for the Air Force and the Navy.
Right.
Things like only difference is the missions of what they do with their planes and things like that.
And they ask some people, like some guys who were really in the Top Gun, real Navy guys doing that, and they were being nice, kind of like my daughter called and she was so excited. Oh, you got to go, Dad! You got to go see this next one. And first of all, I'm not, totally married to Tom Cruise. But anyway, he's okay. But some of the stuff in the flights, are interesting and great for movies person, but they don't.
Oh yeah,
in real world, when you're doing air-to-air combat, for example, when they're planes, you're playing off on your wing and you're going after somebody, you're about a quarter of a mile apart.
Yeah.
You're not sitting there like you're flying in the Thunderbirds, touching wings or something.
Yeah, dogfighting in modern aircraft is way different than World War II era dogfighting.
Yeah,
it's not the same animal here. But it doesn't make as exciting of a movie
that's right.
to dogfight,
and that's what the guy said. That's what the Navy guy said. He said, well, for the excitement of the movie and people to watch it, you have to get by that, but it's not totally like it really happens.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to be honest, I was talking about this at the beginning. I was like, the mission that they're doing with in the first place, there's about 10 other military operations they would have done it a different way with less loss of life, less danger, lot of less variables in there. And that would have been a 5-minute thing and they would have made a 3-hour movie about it.
That's true.
But it was entertaining and it was fun and all that. Loved the movie. But yes, realism and combat accuracy. Yeah, you might want to curtail that a little bit.
Speaking of movies, good lead in, Mike.
Yes.
Okay. An interesting video on YouTube I would recommend is the title is the Enola Gay B-29 Superfortress.
Okay.
With the bomber that dropped the atomic bomb. It's narrated by Gary Sinise.
Okay.
And it's an hour and 28 minutes long on YouTube. And it addresses the difficult development of the B-29. It goes into the biography of background of Paul Tibbets growing up as a little kid and then flying in the back of a guy that was flying out and storming, with these double-wing airplanes, throwing baby Ruths out the airplane. And his dad let him do that. And his dad ran a candy store.
Nice.
But they would go by and they'd throw out these, it was a new candy bar, just hit the road, was Baby Ruth. So anyway, that's how he got introduced to flying, like, oh, I like this. But anyways, his background of being, Paul Tibbets being the pilot of the Enola Gay of dropped the bomb in Hiroshima. the selection of the atomic bomb crews, the training of the missions leading to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And a lot of the narration was by a navigator of the Enola Gay. He was like the only living, at the time they did this with Gary Sinise. They had some other pictures of, the pilot from the Enola Gay. But anyway, very good. And it's one that's an hour and 28 minutes long, so you know you're on the right one.
Okay.
The Enola Gay B-29 Super Fortress, the bomber that dropped the atomic bomb. And
Nice.
you find out a lot of interesting stuff. Like, I watched it and man, I learned a bunch of stuff that I thought I knew a lot about it, but I didn't know before.
Have you ever seen the plane? Have you ever been to D.C. and seen the plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty plane. It's
Yeah.
pretty. I've seen it in a couple different forms. The first time I saw it was in the Air and Space Museum in downtown D.C., but it wasn't assembled.
Wow.
What they had like the nose section and a piece of the tail, and you could see parts of it. And this was before they had the Dulles facility.
Yeah.
And once they opened the Dulles facility, they put it back together, and now it's where it sits currently is in that Dulles facility, all put together. But I remember before that, they used to have a little wing or section in the Air and Space Museum in D.C. for the Enola Gay, and they didn't have it all assembled, but they had parts of it there, and you could actually, if I remember at the time, they had the front cockpit section, and you could kind of look in and see the cockpit. You couldn't go in it, but you could kind of see it through glass what the cockpit of the Enola Gay looked like. And now it's a little different. It's the whole plane's put together, but it's pretty cool. I think if you ever get a chance to DC, please go and see that museum and see some of that and some of the other amazing aircraft that call that place home.
My history tidbit of the day is basically taken from that video. Can we run that right quick? Quick history?
Yeah.
I'm running out of time here.
Yeah.
Enola Gay, Boxcar, the Great Artiste, and other silver plate B-29s. And the silver plate were the name given to the B-29s that were modified to carry and deliver the atomic bomb.
Okay.
Okay.
They were given the nuke package to carry nukes. Gotcha.
And they had to have it where that big bomb would fit in the bomb bay and stuff. But the aircrew, including Paul Tibbets, who flew the Enola Gay, Hiroshima, and atomic bombing missions, were stationed at Wendover Field. A lot of people had the misconception that the Boxcar and Enola Gay all came from Roswell, dropped the bomb, and then came back to Roswell. But Roswell at that time was doing pilot training and bombardier training.
Yeah, so the people inside were getting trained on how to do the mission in Roswell.
But when the war was over, that's when Roswell Army Airfield turned from a training base into a bomber base.
Gotcha.
Yeah, right. So they were actually being trained and stationed at, like I mentioned last month, Wendover Field in Utah. And they were doing all kinds of maneuvers. By taking out all the guns and ammunition, they had all the machine guns taken out of it. It reduced the weight by 7,000 pounds.
Okay.
And they were trying to fly as high and fast as possible because at that time they were pretty safe because they would be able to fly the, deliver the atomic bomb at over 30,000 feet, about 31,000, something like that. So anyway, the Colonel Blanchard at the time, William Blanchard, who came back here and was kind of famous for the UFO thing because he's the first one that said, found a disc or, and then he immediately went on leave after that. And somebody else followed up. But Colonel Blanchard at that time was the wing commander at Tinian.
Okay.
And he was telling, I think, LeMay that my crews are perfectly capable of dropping an atomic bomb. We don't need this Tibbets guy and his group out of Wendover to do this. So anyway, this went on, and finally they got Blanchard and put him in the B-29 and took him on one of these practice missions where they went up and did the bomb drop. So they take these big pumpkin bombs that had powder in them, regular bomb, and they were actually dropping those occasionally in Japan.
Okay.
So people would see 2 or 3 planes coming over, and then one bomb would go off, and like, okay. So they got used to no, it's no big deal.
Right.
But anyway, back at Wendover and stuff, when they were practicing this, they'd go up to about 31,000 feet, drop the bomb, and then immediately make a super hard right turn to maximum turn and dive 2,000 feet down to maybe 29,000 feet to try to change direction from where the bomb path was taking So they wanted to be at least 9 miles away when the bomb went off at 1,860 feet above the ground.
Okay.
Now, I've seen 1,890 feet above the ground, but they had a radar trigger on the bomb that caused it to go off at that altitude above the ground.
I got you.
And that gave them an
settings.
estimated 43 seconds from release until the atomic bomb went off.
Okay.
And it ended up making that about 9 miles prior to that. However, a couple of incidences occurred during training where the pumpkin bomb went off about 10 seconds after leaving the bomb bay for some reason, some malfunction. So if that would have been the atomic bomb,
they would have been done.
They've been vaporized, right?
Yeah. That's not enough time to get away.
No. Need more than maybe, a quarter of a mile.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's just one of those things, and that's basically what I was going to talk about.
Yeah, it's very interesting bombing and how they, the history of and learning, and of course by the time they get to dropping the nukes and things like that, but there's a lot of science to the way they drop bombs, and especially if they're trying to hit a specific target. And this is back World War II, where we didn't have smart munitions, we didn't have laser guided or satellite guided bombs to where the pilot can just pickle off the bomb and then it'll guide to its target while it continues on about its day. These are bombs, and if they're trying to be precision with it, they have to fly low. Obviously with nukes they're not, but they're kind of in essence diving down and then dropping the bomb and then diving back up and getting out of the way.
Right.
And so they had to do things, and not even the non-nuclear bombs, just regular bombs. Some they would, put these big, more elaborate fin packages so the bombs fall slower.
Right.
So it gives them time, because they had to get down real low, drop those bombs, but they need enough time to climb and get out of there without it blowing them up.
Yeah.
So they have to put these crazy fin packages to slow the drag, create drag, and some even had parachutes where they would parachute the bomb in, and it would slow the bomb enough time so the pilot can go get altitude and get out of there before it went boom. Imagine that with a mushroom cloud that, like you said, you got to get 9 miles away.
Yeah, it's another thing. They were talking about flying back after that bomb happened, the first bomb, when they went back to Tinian, and or maybe Iwo Jima, I forgot. Anyway, they went back, but they could see the cloud of Hiroshima until they were approximately 400 miles away from Hiroshima.
Oh, wow.
It was so high and so big, they could see where the explosion had occurred until they were approximately 400 miles away.
Wow.
And so they were talking about, the crew were like really impressed, like, whoa, this is some type of bomb we dropped here.
Yeah. Yeah, and you think about it, because let's face it, I mean, those guys knew it was something special there. Right. They probably didn't know exactly what was going on or what it could do, and then they see that, they're like, whoa, that's what we just did? Whoa, you know what I mean? Because it's a need to know thing. You don't, the weapons guys that load it probably had an inkling of what's in there. The pilot probably did, and maybe the bombardier, but the rest of the crew probably didn't know, and certainly the crew chief and whoever else was maintaining the aircraft didn't know. So it's pretty interesting when they find that stuff out. It's cool history for folks that love to research that stuff.
The monetary support, of our museum, I need to make sure I mention these folks: Roswell Toyota, XL Energy Foundation, Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development, Dr. Phil Cathy and Paul Engstrom, Glenn's Furniture, Air Sale, and the 6th Bomb Wing Reunion Group has given us some money, because
nice.
They've collected some money in the past, and members of the 6th Bomb Wing are getting older, and they just feel like maybe they can't have these tours like they used to, 5-10 years ago, where they'd all come in a group. And so anyway, we've had them send us some money, and we really appreciate that.
That's nice. They want to preserve the history.
Yeah.
And preserve what that's, I love that kind of stuff. So the public, please come check out this beautiful, fortunate little museum we have right in your own backyard here, celebrating the history of
We
Walker
could actually
Aviation.
show you the real high-tech U.S. Navy aircraft range calculator that we have on display.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is back in World War II.
Nice.
And it's right next to my slide rule over there. But it's similar to a slide rule. You hold it in your hand, you hold it 24 inches from your eye, and you have 4 sections of this little device, and you move a little item, and it has a pointer that goes around and as you move this, there's 2 little wires in this device that you're holding up that's hollow. There's 2 little wires move out and back together. So you hold it up and point it at the aircraft, and it has a list of the different aircraft, and most people could recognize, this is a Mr. Smith one, whatever it is. So they would do that, and it would go wingtip to wingtip, and the 4 sections were based on different wingspans. And as you got it wingtip to wingtip, then the pointer would say exactly how many thousands of feet away it was.
Oh, wow.
So you tell the gunner next to you, he's at 3,000 feet, or he's at 2,000 feet.
That's pretty
So it's
ingenious.
kind of like prior to the, electronic radar, that type stuff.
That's like tracking by hand.
Yeah, and
kind of
everybody
thing.
likes that. Like, wow, that's really awesome. You just hold it out there, and first of all, you pick out what aircraft it is, and then you just move it back and forth. You got wingtip to wingtip, and it tells you how far the plane is.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So anyway, that's an example of what we got out there.
Good deal. So come check it out. Come see that. And you wonder, and to be honest, this is, I know you hear this joke, but this sounds like one of those instruments where it really does make sense when you peel back the layers. Is you always hear the joke the Army paid $400 for a hammer or whatever it is, when you could have bought it for $10. And yeah, that's the joke. But then you realize once you peel back a layer or two, well, this hammer is used for a specific thing during a very certain deal, and a normal hammer wouldn't be able to get it done. And like I've heard, there was an example on West Wing one time where they were making fun of an ashtray that was some Navy general. He's like, yeah, this is what they use in the thing, and they were like, that's a $1,000 ashtray, and you're like, what do you mean? And then he starts smacking it on the ground, and it wouldn't break. He goes, because if this shit got blown up, and then that's why it's a $1,000 ashtray. And it's kind of, so it's about perspective. And when you were talking about that calculator, it reminded me of that a little bit. It's like, yeah, a calculator, but when you see what it's designed to do and what it's for and what environment it's supposed to work in, now that makes a little bit more sense on why it's that way. I'm not saying justify $400 hammers, but sometimes there is a reason for things that we don't realize, and then when you realize it, you're like, okay, now that makes a little more sense.
One of the things I've observed is we've got 3 rifles from World War II on display in a lighted case, and I'd say 60% of the men that come in there go straight to that gun case. And it's the rifles used by the Russians, one by the Germans, and one by the Japanese. And they find it very interesting, very nice. But it's kind of a joke because it's kind of like the guys go straight to the rifles first, even though it doesn't really have much to do with Walker Air Force Base. But
hey,
there we go.
We love things that blow up and things that make things go blow up. That's just what we are.
Boom. Yeah.
But folks, like you said, that the museum's open during flight schedules right now. You can check AA.com and work around that. Don't forget, if you have a youth group or something that likes set up time to come be a part of the museum or set up a tour, just reach out. You could go to the Walker Aviation Museum Facebook page and shoot a message there, or go to wafbmuseum.org, and you'll find contact information there. And, of course, if you want to serve as a docent or whatever, just reach out there as well.
You can also text me on my phone. Don't call me because I probably won't answer if I don't recognize it.
But shoot a text.
It's a local area code, 575, and then 420. And I know you're driving, you can't write this down, but 420 and then 3 and then 789.
Very good. 3789.
Yeah, 3789 and the previous 420.
Good deal.
And just text me and say, hey, we got a group of 13 to 19-year-olds that would like to come out in a group of 8 and for 2.5 hours and get the stuff.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Happy 4th weekend.
Same to you.
And we'll see you here next month, okay?
All right.
Thank you, sir. Don't work too hard.
By the way, we appreciate your service as a weapons guy with the stealth fighters.
That's right.
Stealth fighter with fighter bombers, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the great their F moniker, but there's no fighter about them. That was part of the Soviet Union Cold War thing. Technically, they're B-117s, but they're labeled F-117.
F-117. Yeah.
But thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay.
And you as well.
Cerello, we have an update today to a case we first reported a couple of weeks ago regarding the deaths of 2 men at an oil field site in Eddy County. The Sheriff's Department providing an update Tuesday saying they do not suspect foul play in this case. Deputies responded to the oil field site near Highway 82 and Turkey Tract Road and found both men dead. The owner of the land is A&R Services, based in Lovington. The Current Argus reports the company has not responded to calls for comment. Meanwhile, a third man who was found unresponsive at another oil field site this week is identified as being from Hobbs. 36-year-old Jose Martin Marino Nunez Jr. was found at the oil field site near Angel Ranch Road and Burton. That's north of Carlsbad Monday morning. A coroner pronounced the man dead at the scene. The sheriff's office in Eddy County says they do not suspect criminal activity in this case either. Chief Deputy Matt Hutchinson said there is no reason to suspect a threat to the public. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cerello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We can't rule out some showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon hours for the next couple of days with some of that monsoon air moving into eastern New Mexico. We will get some sunshine today as well. Our afternoon high will be in the upper 90s and isolated to scattered late-day showers and thunderstorms. Overnight, partly cloudy, low 70s, and then maybe a late-day storm again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Many Americans don't expect to rely on the digital services that became commonplace during the pandemic after COVID-19 subsides, according to a new poll. Even as many think it's a good thing if those options remain available in the future. Close to half or more of U.S. adults say they are not likely to attend virtual activities, receive virtual health care, have groceries delivered, or use curbside pickup after the coronavirus pandemic is over, according to a poll from the Associated Press Nork Center for Public Affairs Research. Scandinavian Airlines on Tuesday filed for bankruptcy in the United States, warning a walkout by 1,000 pilots a day earlier had put the future of the carrier at risk. The move adds to the likelihood of travel chaos across Europe as the summer vacation period begins. Stockholm-based airlines said it had voluntarily filed for Chapter 11 in the United States. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Well, the biting bugs and the ferocious flyers are out in force, and if you don't take care of them now, you'll be swatting and scratching all summer. Makes me itchy just thinking about it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether it's keeping the fleas and ticks off your animals or keeping the flies and mosquitoes away from your barbecue, you gotta use the right stuff, and you gotta do it at the right time. So come see us now at Roswell Seed Company, and don't let the bugs tick you off. Get it? Tick.
When you can't be home, make your space feel more like home with Candlewood Suites, Roswell, New Mexico, featuring extended stay rooms, complete with kitchenettes in a quiet area, plus plenty of great amenities, including free hot coffee 24/7, and the Candlewood Cupboard 24-hour convenience store, plus the Candlewood Gym and free laundry facilities. Cool off in the outdoor pool, complete with hot tub, and enjoy the outdoor gazebo and grills. And the Candlewood Lending Locker for stuff you couldn't pack, like crock pots, board games, and more. Call 575-623-4300 to find out more. Candlewood Suites, where everyone here is sweet on you. Your home away from home. Sometimes when you hit the road hits back. That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:58. Stay tuned next hour, about 9:15 or so. We're going to have Andrew Moore join us from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, give an update on what's going on through the chamber. I was just looking at this. My brother, I didn't get a chance to even look at it till just now. My brother sent me a text this morning, like 4 o'clock this morning. Of course, he's on the East Coast. So he's a couple hours ahead. But it is a picture, or it is a listing, a Zillow listing for a house that was my grandmother's house when I was a kid. My father adopted me when I was 4. I don't know my natural born father. I don't know. But so up until I was 4, my mother and my aunt and my uncle and my grandmother all lived in my grandma's house there until I was about 4 years old before my parents my dad and mom met, and they moved in an apartment. So first 4 years of my life, I lived with my grandmother, and the house was there in PG County, Maryland, at Marlboro Pike, there in District Heights, Maryland, which is right outside of D.C. I mean, you throw the next thing over is D.C. proper, so it's right there. It's inside the Beltway. That's where my grandmother lived. That neighborhood got bad over the years and turned into a bad, but I don't know what it's like today. But the house that my grandmother lived in is now for sale, and it's been obviously remodeled. It looks nothing like it did in the 70s when I lived there. But it's just. But when I see it, I see the remodel, and I'm like, oh, the floor plan and the basement it had. But it's kind of funny. I see this house now, and it didn't have it had a basement then, but it wasn't a full basement. But I got to go. We got to do things. So I'll tell you more on the other side of the hour. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A seventh person has died of wounds sustained in the mass shooting at a July 4th parade in Highland Park, Illinois. The accused gunman charged with 7 counts of first-degree murder with more charges expected. Christopher Cavelli is with the Lake County Sheriff's Office.
Investigators have been really tirelessly working since Primo was taken into custody, trying to determine motive. At this point, there is no definitive motive that he had.
The audio from WLS-TV. Police say 21-year-old Robert Cremo III legally purchased 5 weapons, even though police had been called to his home twice in 2019 for threats of violence against others, as well as a threat of suicide. Although still high, gas prices have been edging a bit lower. AAA's nationwide average for regular, just below $4.78 a gallon. And there's word that President Biden is sending oil from America's Strategic Petroleum Reserve abroad.
At a time when fuel prices are hovering near record highs, Reuters reports that more than 5 million barrels, part of the reserve set aside for national emergencies, were exported to Europe and Asia last month. The president has touted the release of oil from the reserve as a way to bring down U.S. gas prices. About 1 million barrels per day will be released, but the flow is draining the reserve, which last month fell to its lowest since 1986. This comes at a time when Mr. Biden has been browbeating oil companies and most recently gas station owners. Ken Lorman reporting.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott touting the success of his Operation Lone Star initiative aimed at securing the southern border. Abbott says Texas authorities have seized record amounts of the deadly drug, fentanyl. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed. The Dow is down 34 points. The Nasdaq trading 15 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you're considering protecting your retirement with gold or silver, listen up. Mark Davis here. One company I trust for this, Advantage Gold, the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. They are so passionate about teaching people how to own physical gold and silver. They've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because they really educate their clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. Call 800-900-8000. 800-900-8000. Talk to one of their experts. They can send you a free gold kit along with a free copy of the Wall Street Journal national bestseller, The Great Devaluation. Number again, 800-900-8000. Don't wait any longer. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value, all from Advantage Gold. 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Call Advantage Gold today. 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Maryland Governor Larry Hogan directs the state police to suspend the state's good and substantial reason standard for permits to carry handguns.
This comes after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down a similar New York law last month. The Republican governor says that the New York law pertaining to handguns is virtually indistinguishable from Maryland law. As a result, Hogan was directing the Maryland State Police to immediately suspend use of the good and substantial reason standard when reviewing applications for wear and carry permits. Hogan says it would be unconstitutional to continue enforcing this provision in state law. John Scott reporting.
European Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen says the 27-nation European Union needs to make emergency plans to prepare for a complete cutoff of Russian gas amidst the ongoing Kremlin war in Ukraine. News and analysis at townhall.com. The FDA says not so fast on a halt to e-cig sales.
The Food and Drug Administration has issued an administrative stay on its order for vaping company Juul to stop sales of its electronic cigarettes. In a post on Twitter Tuesday, the FDA said the stay is temporary while it conducts further review, but the order issued last month has not been rescinded. The initial FDA action banning Juul sales was issued June 23rd. One day later, a federal appeals court temporarily blocked the FDA order. To stay on the market, vaping companies must show their e-cigarettes benefit public health, as improving adult users are likely to quit or reduce their smoking, and teens are unlikely to become addicted. Mike Gracia, Washington.
Smithfield Foods will pay restaurant and caterers $42 million to settle a lawsuit accusing the giant meat producer of plotting to inflate pork prices. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelation, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. I noticed, so in our studio, we have Plateau Internet and everything, but we had Plateau television services, and they, of course, ended their TV service at the end of June. So we don't have their TV service anymore. So for our TV, we usually just had Fox News on in the background there. We hooked the TV up to the internet. It's a newfangled thing we heard about kids. And we hooked it up to the internet, and now we play the Fox News app on the it's like a Roku app that shows kind of like raw footage of Fox News stuff, but they have some like announcers or broadcasters, or you want to call them, but it's like the Fox's C team,
right?
I've noticed.
It's like when you go to the strip club on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
A lot of C-section scars floating around this cast.
The chicken wings are the sad ones.
Yep.
And they're either up and comers or come and wince, one of the others. And so I'm like, oh, okay, because it's like you know how Fox News always seems to just pull out women to go be anchors on that show.
It's the closest thing I could ever call to a harem. They have a harem of attractive newscasters.
It's like a garden. They just grow them, and it's like, all right, that one's ready. Pull them out. I think the Fox News app is the garden.
Right.
They go, and this is where they grow them.
Right.
And the ones that have the chops end up on the TV.
If you've ever been to a car lot, and you know that place where they have like the super discounted rides, that's them. This is the as is lot of news.
It's that casino in Vegas Vacation. The guess my number and how many fingers am I holding up, that whole thing. War.
Yeah, I was kind of looking. I'm like, that's not.
Yeah, it's
normal.
It's like the uncanny valley of Fox News, kind of.
But it has a cool side to it because it's a bit reminiscent of the 80s satellite where you just got the raw feed of things during commercial breaks. There's like raw footage of people walking away or scratching themselves and things like that. And you're like, ooh, I'm seeing behind the scenes.
I'm not supposed to see this. We'll just see like every now and again. We'll be right back.
I kind of like it. I'm an amateur hour fan. Anything that's amateur hour, I'm in.
It says we're in commercial. We're in commercials.
Yeah.
We'll be right back or something like that.
Yeah. Here's a picture of Houston.
With the whirly bird.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. Speaking of old things, I was talking about this right before the end of the last hour. So this morning, my brother sent me a Zillow link for a house that was, it turns out it's my grandmother's house, the house I grew up in, where I lived in until I was 4. And this was in the 70s. And like I said, it was District Heights, Maryland, which is right outside of D.C. Prince George's County. Anybody that knows D.C. area knows Prince George's County is infamous for being the bad county, the crime county. There's the up in Frederick and Columbia, that area, and Bethesda, Montgomery County. That's the rich county. That's like one of the richest in the world, that county. But right next to it is Prince George's County, the world's toilet. And now it may have improved some in 20, but when I was there in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Ode de toilet. It was bad. It was just crime, just bad area. You know? And but there is a little of that. What do they call it?
Je ne sais quoi?
No, gentrification.
Yeah.
Whatever they call that stuff. That going on there. So some of these ghetto areas are getting nice again. But that house was just it was in the 70s, and I lived. Of course, it had like the pattern carpet. It wasn't shag carpet. It was that tightly woven carpet.
Oh, like
that
office
had
carpet
the
almost.
floral squirrely print.
Okay.
Not print, but stitched into it. It was that, and then after years of walking over it, that goes away, and it just becomes like a worn out shag looking thing. But that was the carpet throughout the house, and then we had the basement, and it was straight out of the Jason Friday the 13th basements with the the creepy window and the smell and the things and the drippings.
Was your basement finished?
No. Well, yes and no. There was one room that was a bedroom that had drywall and stuff. I wouldn't call it nice, but it was a room.
Right.
With a bed?
Yeah. I mean, it had drywall and it had like not AstroTurf, but that one carpet right above AstroTurf. That's like
my Lanta.
Yeah.
I know kind of what you're talking about.
It was the 70s.
Sunroom carpeting, basically.
And of course, it has 2 bathrooms. Well, it had one and a toilet. So it had a full bathroom, and so it had 3 bedrooms upstairs. And then my uncle lived downstairs in the basement, smoking.
Hence the smell.
Yeah, he was a pothead, and so it reeked of pot and rats down there, and so many cigarette butts. But so I think of this house from there, and let's face it, like all basements, they stored decades of garbage in there, and so there was Christmas trees from 50 years ago. There was, I imagine, when we cleaned it out after my grandmother died, if we like held on to some of that stuff, it's probably worth thousands of dollars. Some of it, but it was to us is all garbage. And but anyway, so my brother sent me this Zillow link, and the house has been completely remodeled. I mean, it's 2022. This was like 75. I'm talking about 76. And so but the house now, and so I see the house now, and the layout is the same because and so I'm seeing the modern version. I'm seeing the front porch. I'm like, I don't know how many times me and we're playing on this porch, and then you see the backyard, and there's the back door is right above the basement door. So there's a porch and some steps that go down, and then underneath that is steps down to the basement. So it's kind of a dungeony little, but that was a little play area, and I see it now, and of course it's been cleaned up and modernized and looks good, but I was like, I used to play, because my grandmother in the summers, she'd say 8 o'clock, get your butt outside, and I'd be out there, and I don't come in. I come in for lunch, then back outside, and then I come home and mom pick me up at 4 o'clock.
Go away. That was the solution to the parody in the 80s. Get away from me.
So I spent many of my youth in that backyard.
When the street lights come on, you better be on your way.
Matter of fact, there was the basement window I kicked in because I was mad they wouldn't let me in. I got in trouble for that one, but I was mad Grandma wouldn't let me in for a pretzel stick, and I said, and I kicked the basement window, and it broke.
Now, I'm curious, did you at any point, like, mark the house? Like Mike was here?
No, because I was 4 by the time I moved out of it, so it wasn't a lot of me marking my territory. I guess
I was putting the age perspective.
Yeah.
But, like, I remember we had this one house in Oklahoma. It was on Tishomingo Street.
Mm-hmm.
It was real rundown. This place was a nightmare.
Yeah.
But it had a huge shed in the back, and I put an S on the shed.
Okay. Now, I bet there's probably not now, but there was stuff that I did back there. I mean, because, like, I lived there till I was 4.
Right.
But for another 6 years or so after that, my grandmother was my babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to school, and, they would take me to Grandma's house. I go to school, and then I come home and hang out. And during the summer, I was there so even till I was, like, 12. I mean, my grandmother died when I was 14. So from, like, 4 to probably 10 or 11, I was regularly going to Grandma's for being babysat. And so I lived there for 4 years, but then I was there almost all day, every day so that house, a good hunk of my childhood was in it. But seeing the house now and seeing it modernized is weird because they put all beautiful hardwood flooring in it. It's got they went ahead and it looks like all the rooms they went with the basic ceiling and floor trim, and then a lot of yellow and bright colored walls. Mm-hmm. And it looks so much brighter and wide open. To me, it was dark and dingy and.
Well, the 70s was dark and dingy,
right? And a lot of times when you look back at memories and stuff, you tend to kind of have them be like darker, dimmer.
Yeah.
It seems
but I don't. There's happy memories from that. Like when I think of that house, I think of it fondly and think of where I grew. I don't have dark memories of it. It was poor and sad because that's what we were. But but I loved it. It was my childhood and I had a great time. But just to see it now,
I'm curious though.
In my 50-year-old brain as an adult that's seeing things and just seeing this house, and I'm like, and it's weird because it's all different but all very familiar. Like I'm like, okay, I know that's the kitchen. That's where Grandma kept the belt. Used to beat my butt with. This is where the fireplace was there that it never lit because I'm pretty sure they never cleaned the thing, so it just sat there, and there was just 80 years of pictures and same pictures that were there for 80 years were there.
Yeah.
The TV's in the same spot. Of course, it's a new TV. It wasn't the old big floor model, 20-inch floor model, black and white jobber. Yeah. It was that. But it was, and then the porch, the concrete on is the same color. It's like that same blue that was when I was there.
Wow.
It's been cleaned up and nice and fixed up, but it's the same. Dude, same color paint and everything.
I go back to Medill to Oklahoma, and that town has not done a thing to anything in 30 some odd years that I lived there. It's exactly, they've put like a coat of paint on the school, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I've noticed too. It looks a little more open. They cut back a lot of the vegetation and things that used to be like to me, because it was on a busy street. Marlboro Pike is a busy, like if you cape in, it takes you right into DC. So it's a 4-lane busy road. The house is back off the street. There's about, I don't know, a couple hundred feet of driveway before you get, I'd say a couple hundred. I'd say about 100. Mm-hmm. In my head, it seemed as a kid it was like a couple hundred, but I watch it today, it's about half that size. But anyway, we were on a busy road, so there was trees on the side and chain link fences and things to kind of mitigate some of that. A lot of that's gone now, but or they've replaced it with younger growth, and it just isn't mature. But it was kind of neat. So
I'm curious, what's it listing at?
Do you want to know?
I do.
It's going to make a lot of people shocked here.
Well, I'm sure it's not inexpensive.
It's a 5-bedroom, 2-bath house. That sounds big, but it's only about 1,100 square feet. Okay. They're asking. Let me get the right number.
$750.
I was going to say
no. It's not that price.
Say $580.
Actually, it's cheaper than that. It's $300 and what is it? $350.
With DC access,
$365.
Like
that's what it is.
That's why I was thinking DC access.
And still getting that kind of like neighborhoody.
Well, it's because it's a tiny house.
Sure.
It's 1,000 square foot house or 1,100 square foot house. They want $325,000 or $360,000 for a 1,100 square foot house. Wow. Now, all fairness, it looks good. I don't know, how updated the AC and all that is, but as far as the cosmetics of it, they fixed it up pretty nice.
Then they probably updated AC.
I'm guessing the appliance and stuff look like they're pretty new and decent and everything.
It's been
I think it's been renovated, but the house was built in 1951. That's so it was built in the 50s.
So 1,100, 1,200 square feet was huge back in the 50s.
Yeah, back then. Yeah, it was big for its time. And now it's a lot bigger with that basement. To make it a 5-bedroom with that basement. But think about it. If you have 5 persons,
people in 1,100 square feet,
2 bathrooms, yeah, that's going to cause a problem in the
you
morning.
can't have kids.
Yeah.
Or you have to have teeny kids
Yeah.
and no teenagers.
Yeah.
Because we have 3 bathrooms and 4 teenagers at our house, and it gets a little complicated.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it was kind of interesting just to take a look at that, go down memory lane. So, hey, if you get a chance, go dig up your own history and see what you find out. See if you feel old or nostalgic about it one way or another. It was just kind of a nostalgic moment for me. That is the voice of Andrew Moore. I have not got good at replicating that with the chamber. She's going to join us here. I've been working on my ventriloquism and all that and my impressionism, but I'm not that good at it yet. So, but Andrew will be chatting with us here, give us an update on what's happening in the
And good morning. It is 21 minutes
later on this hour, we'll get you
7
with
o'clock.
the local news along with your town hall business, Wall Street update, and which you may not want to hear that either, is the way Wall Street's going. But we'll play that for you here as well. Before we do any of that, though, let's take a look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We can't rule out some showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon hours for the next couple of days with some of that monsoon air moving into eastern New Mexico. We will get some sunshine today as well. Our afternoon high will be in the upper 90s and isolated to scattered late day showers and thunderstorms. Overnight, partly cloudy, low 70s, and then maybe a late day storm again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 82 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at, I didn't scroll up high enough, 49%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 3 miles per hour. It is monsoon season, so we got rain chances, 20% for this afternoon. Not tonight, though, weirdly enough, just for the afternoon. Matter of fact, they say our rain sweet spot is between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. today. Mostly sunny and hot with a high right around 199 officially. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 74. Winds will be out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% chance of showers for tomorrow afternoon, mainly after 1. Once again, sunny, hot, highs right around 100. Winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles per hour. 20% chance of rain tomorrow night as well. Mainly before 1 a.m., partly cloudy otherwise with an overnight low of 72, south winds 10 to 15. Friday, more chances of rain, 20% chance of showers for the afternoon, mostly sunny and hot, high of 98. 20% chance of rain Friday night as well, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 72. 20% chance of rain during the day on Saturday, otherwise sunny and hot with a high of 98. Saturday night, 20% chance of showers as well, partly cloudy, overnight low of 73. Sunday, no talk of rain, just sunny, hot, highs right around 100. Monday, next week when you head back to work, no talk of rain during the day either, just sunny and hot 102. But Monday night and into Tuesday, they're back into the 20% monsoon chances again there. So it's hit or miss like it is. I don't know, the last couple of days just make me mad because it get cloudy, it'll get smelling like rain. I even saw a rainbow yesterday.
You see it out.
Yeah.
You see it far out. Yesterday, I was taking the kids to one of their activities out at the college, and you could see out towards Artesia this big, beautiful storm cloud. You could tell it was raining really hard, but it was 20 miles, 30 miles out. Those darn cow farts keep blocking all the rain for us. I'm telling you, something to that. I have no signs to back it up, but if you're a rain and you see it was full of cow farts, you gonna want to come? I wouldn't. It feels humid outside.
Yeah, that's just it. We're getting the humidity. We're getting all the parts that stink about rain, except for the actual rain. That's the part we're not getting. The part I want.
Right.
So
come on.
Maybe today we'll get a little. Who knows? Probably won't though. All right, it is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break, and then officially Andrew Moore will join us here with the Chamber of Commerce. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Time for the 86th Annual Lee County Fair and PRCA Rodeo, July 29th through August 6th at the Lee County Fairgrounds. This year, it's all about honoring our heritage. Come enjoy the Arts and Crafts Showcase, the Carnival, Extreme Bulls event, the PRCA Rodeo, the livestock shows, commercial vendors, and some of the best fair food in the state. And of course, the concert series with Ramon Ayala y sus Bravos del Norte La Leyenda, Friday, July 29th at 7 p.m. Tuesday, August 2nd, Randall King takes the stage at 9:30.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Wednesday, August 3rd, it's Zach Williams at 9:30.
He's a chain breaker.
Thursday, August 4th, don't miss the Randy Rogers Band at 9:30. Friday, August 5th, it's Joe Nichols at 9:30.
Yeah, tequila makes her clothes fall off.
And Cody Johnson on Saturday, August 6th at 9:30.
Till you can't.
Admission is free Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday all day, and every day before 5. $10 for adults, kids 6 to 12, $5, and 5 and under are free. More info at LeeCountyFair.net. See you at the Lee County Fair, July 29th through August 6th at the Lee County Fairgrounds.
Well, the biting bugs and the ferocious flyers are out in force, and if you don't take care of them now, you'll be swatting and scratching all summer. Makes me itchy just thinking about it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether it's keeping the fleas and ticks off your animals or keeping the flies and mosquitoes away from your barbecue, you gotta use the right stuff, and you gotta do it at the right time. So come see us now at Roswell Seed Company, and don't let the bugs tick you off. Get it? Tick.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Some things sound so good you can almost taste it. Like Bluebell Strawberry Lemonade Ice Cream. Delicious strawberry ice cream swirled with lemonade sherbet and sprinkled with lemon-flavored flakes. It's better than you can imagine.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Walgreens stores and Albertsons United Supermarkets.
Sometimes when you hit the road hits back. That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
If you suffer from Polganophobia, you would not want to attend a party with the following people: Kenny Rogers, Santa Claus, Willie Nelson, the cast of Duck Dynasty, and 2/3 of ZZ Top. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrew Moore back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Pretty good.
Good. How was UFO Festival and everything for the Chamber?
It was great. It was went out and walked around a little bit.
Yeah.
Saw everything that was going on. My kids spent, honestly, a lot more time up and in all of it because one of my daughter's friends lives literally 2 blocks.
Okay.
So they spent the night over there and walked through and checked everything out.
Okay. Good
and
deal.
she said that it was definitely hands down better than it had been, the previous year when it was rained out.
Good deal.
So,
I know we had a lot of people in town. And
yeah.
I didn't know if any of our chamber members reached out, talked about any of their business, or gave any kind of. I'm sure they all were pretty busy
out and
this
about.
weekend.
I saw
and doing
many
some business,
of our
so.
locals out and about, which is also something that is different that I saw from the last 25 years that I've lived here. Is typically you hear UFO festival and the locals scatter. And this year I saw a ton of locals, and so that was really nice.
Yeah, I'll take credit for the fact that gas is $5.50 a gallon, and airplanes you can book all the flights you want, but there's a 50-50 chance they're going to cancel it. So I'm thinking, let's hang out in Roswell this weekend.
Yep. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And then you guys brought in
Clyde Lewis was in town.
Lewis,
Yeah, we had a great time
cool.
with him. Yeah, everything I heard, like all the events that you could buy tickets for were sold out.
Yep.
Which tells me that I'm sure all of our downtown merchants, obviously all of our hotels were sold out. So I'm thinking all of our restaurants and our Main Street downtown merchants and folks like that. And I think all saw a big uptick in business this weekend.
Absolutely.
So,
my daughter works at Cattle Baron, and she said that it was nonstop Friday and Saturday.
Good. That's the kind of stuff we need here.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure we'll get the final numbers here in a couple weeks or a month or so. But hopefully it's a nice little shot in the arm for this economy here, and
Absolutely.
hopefully that'll be some good grocery.
I'm sure it is, because it was definitely busy. I made it a point to not drive through the middle of all of that. I made sure to go around, but even some of those side streets, you could tell there was an uptick in parking, in people driving. So it was a good sign.
Absolutely.
Good job, City of Roswell.
Yeah, I think all the entities involved did a great job for the Galacticon and Main Street and the city.
Main Street, Roswell,
the
City.
International UFO Museum and Research Center. They all did amazing.
They came
job,
together, and it was a fantastic event. So good job, everybody. I'm very proud of you.
Absolutely. But that doesn't mean there's still a bunch going on with through the chamber. Of course,
absolutely.
Summer is a bit quieter as far as meetings and things go, but like business after hours and get-togethers and stuff like that. There's plenty of that going on.
In fact, we are hosting the Roswell Invaders Night.
Yes.
July 14th. So you can get your discounted tickets at the chamber. They're $8 a piece.
Go out there and go to the games.
It is so much fun.
It's very inexpensive. You can get your tickets at the gate, or you can get them in advance at the website. You go there and get your Invaders gear. You can get the jerseys and hats. And like Friday, I was sporting my Invaders, my blue. I love that. That's my official UFO festival. I love the blue. Not a fan of the green one, but I love the blue one with the green.
The blue is really nice.
With the green trim, I guess you could say. Love that one, but the green one, not.
Well,
but I get it. A lot of people love it.
Discounted rate on the tickets if you come to the chamber for chamber night, $8. And we may have some goodies.
Good deal.
Over there. Last year, we gave away alcoholic beverages.
Good deal.
Care of LNF Distributors. They are a great member of ours at the chamber. So
they support a lot of being a member, but they also support a lot of our events.
Absolutely.
And things involved.
They're great.
Too. So, yeah.
And then, of course, we are currently taking applications for Leadership Roswell.
The deadline is the end of this month. So
July 29th at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And we were pretty hardcore on turning off the applications online, as well as locking the doors. If you don't have your application in, you're going to have to wait a whole nother year.
Yeah, get those applications now. It's a short answer application. It's not.
Yes.
It's so these are questions that they put on there are designed for you to learn a little bit about you. So there's questions on there like, what do you think Roswell's greatest asset is? What do you think Roswell's greatest problem is? And they want more answers.
And how can you solve those problems? Exactly.
Yeah, but they don't want you to just say Roswell's greatest problem is crime and then move on to the next thing. That's not helpful. We want to know, okay, is it crime? Well, why? What is it what do you see as be particular about it? Why is it crime? What are facets about it? That's what, and so it's not so much what you write. We want to see your thought process and see what you think about this community and things like that, because the whole point of Leadership Roswell is A, to learn leadership skills, but B, is to also familiarize the class with all facets of how Roswell runs in Chaves County, from the government side to business side to emergency services.
Well,
and
we're growing leaders for our community. And we had a bunch of teachers last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was the largest class I had seen with teachers.
Okay.
So that was really cool that RISD was really allowing and supporting the teachers to take that one Friday off a month.
Yeah, it can be a little trickier for them, too, especially in the world where they're short-staffed and then they have to get a sub, but if there's not enough subs because it's COVID and all that world, so it's really it was really great to see that happen, because that probably was a bigger Herculean task than most people realize.
Yep, and we only get there's only 30 seats in the class. So if we get 40 or 50 applications,
which we usually do,
we always get more than 30. However, if you have turned in an application and were told no, whether it was last year or in the last few years, you do get weighted more. There is more consideration on somebody that has put in their application more than once, because that shows that you really are interested and dedicated.
Absolutely.
So don't be discouraged if you had been turned down at some other point. Turn in your application. It's always a great class.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, if, like you said, if you tried last year before, you probably got a better chance this time of getting in. So, but please do apply, because it is a great program. It really is a great chance for you to learn about this community. It's been going on for 30 plus years. It's to be honest, the Leadership Roswell program has kind of set a pattern for other similar programs around the state.
We're the longest running leadership program in the state.
Yeah, and those other programs that do great stuff, a lot of them have patterned what they do off of what Leadership Roswell does.
Correct.
So that, flattery is the best form of compliment, or whatever they say there, or what is it? Imitation is the best form of flattery. There, thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Then there you go. There's your answer right there. So it is really great.
And then we also have cap sorting this Saturday starting at 9 a.m.
That's bottle caps, not ball caps, or
correct. The plastic bottle caps.
Yeah.
So we
or
can
mayonnaise
do
jars,
those benches around town. We work with Main Street Roswell. This is their program, but we definitely partner with them. So
isn't like I can't remember the number, but it's like 100 pounds of those caps make one bench or something like that.
Yeah, it's like 100 or 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And then if you want a bench, it's $300 is all the cost is. And then we go and sort, because I've been a part of just about all of the sorting Saturdays in the last 6-8 months that they've had.
Is that through Main Street, or is that through one of the churches? Or
it's through Main Street Roswell.
Okay.
But everybody is welcome. So if you've got some kind of community service that you need to fulfill, I know, for example, that the Assist Teens have gone and helped out, because they are all about volunteerism as well as other groups around town. And you don't have to be a youth. You can be an adult.
Yeah.
And it actually goes really quick.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. The people there are fantastic to hang out with. And if you can only be there for an hour, come for an hour.
I imagine for certain people, there's a cathartic thing going on there. You know what I mean? Like some people, like they get in the zone when they're sorting or doing like ironing, or, you know what I mean? Certain people have.
Absolutely.
I think for some people, sorting bottle caps by color might be like that little cathartic little, mental.
Well, it's not
health
by
break
color, it's
there.
by...
Or whatever size or whatever it is.
It's cleanliness and type, because there's certain kinds of plastics that cannot be recycled.
Gotcha, okay.
And so that's what we're doing, is going through, getting rid of the metal, getting rid of, if something's really nasty. At one time, Main Street Roswell would take the really, really gross ones and go home and wash them. And I don't think that they do that quite as much. If they're really grody, they go.
The juice ain't worth the squeeze on that one.
Correct.
Basically.
But there are some that are, if they're just kind of dirty, we'll go and kind of wash them out and then bring them back. But it's really cool to see the sorting process and watch these big bags get full of these bottle caps. So from starting at 9, probably go to about noon.
Okay.
The sorting actually takes place at Hawks Automotive.
Okay.
Which is at 12 South Lincoln.
Lincoln, which is over right by 3rd Street and all that there. Yeah.
And it's very easy to get to. And it is. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun.
Last time I went by there, he had some crazy hot rod thing out there. So I don't know if that's still there or not. But
I'll have to go past there.
That was a while ago. But that was like my landmark. I was like, yeah. But it's right over there.
And then, of course, if you have bottle caps, we at the chamber are a drop spot. So if you've got your bottle caps, bring them over to the chamber, and I'll throw them in the back of my Armada and shuffle them over there so they can be sorted for Saturday.
Yeah, because it's really a great program, like you said. These the benches that they come out, you've seen them, some of them in downtown right now.
Absolutely.
They're benches that are made from these recycled bottle caps. But the cool part is they're cheaper to make than typical benches are, park benches. They're more durable than the other benches, and they're more resistant to graffiti and things like that. So when they try to tag these and all that, it's just a simple sand real quick, and it's back to normal.
Absolutely.
It's very simple maintenance for an item that tends to get, the public doing things to it.
We are partnering with the two families of the two young gentlemen that were killed over at Cahoon Park to donate some park benches over there.
Yeah, a lot of people have been doing like naming in the honor of a loved one or something. That's kind of how they've been dedicated.
The families had reached out to us because our staff knows some of the family members of those two young men. And so we said, you know what, we can absolutely help out. And I know that the city of Roswell is putting together kind of a nice little memorial type spot
stuff.
over at Cahoon Park, and we thought, you know what, this is perfect.
Sure.
Talk about a perfect thing.
Yeah.
It's just a couple $100 per bench.
Yeah.
And
maybe it gives a little bit of comfort to the families.
And then you can sit and reflect and do what you need, and these young men will not be forgotten.
Yeah, it's a great idea. But that's the beauty of these. So if you were into this, start collecting the bottle caps and things like that. Come out Saturday, maybe and help sort, but then you can learn about the types that are worth saving and the ones that you can't save.
Absolutely.
Because there is like most of your soda bottle caps and all that are good to go.
All of your water bottle caps for them, from your Dasani bottles
the
and stuff.
Caps, yeah.
But you can do your milk tops.
Mm-hmm.
You can do your plastic caps from your laundry detergent.
Yeah.
There are so many other caps.
I think like the plastic mayonnaise jars and stuff. The
pretty
lids
much
from those.
anything that's a plastic top.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't have the metal in there.
No glass jars or the metal lids that come with glass jars typically. But the plastic ones, those are all game on. The butter tubs, like your country clock butter tubs.
Your medicine tops as well. So if you have medication.
Yeah, all of that's part of it.
Dispose of the medication with the police department when they do that day.
Save the bottle top.
But then save the top and bring it to us. And if you're a business or an organization around town, we also have the order forms, so that way you can order a bench and have it put in front of your location or somewhere around town, because we've got all kinds of parks, all kinds of places around town that it would be really nice to have a bench.
If it's a good place to park a butt, there's a good place for a bench.
Absolutely. And like I said, they're very inexpensive, and come and sort some bottle cap. It really is fun. The first time I went to go sort bottle caps, I'll be honest, I was rolling my eyes. I can't believe. And it was so much fun. It ended up being so much fun.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, come out and then again this Saturday. What time?
This Saturday, starting at 9 a.m.
At Hawks.
At Hawks Automotive. You can call us at the chamber, and we'll give you more information if I talked too fast here.
Well, we live in a world that you can easily go into your Google machines and type in Hawks.
And if you can't be there the whole time, pop in for an hour, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's
30
amazing.
minutes or 3 hours, whatever you got, we'd love to have you.
We would love to have you. And then a new thing that we're doing at the chamber is, we've got so many regulations and rules that are starting to come out. For example, the paid sick leave started on Friday, and it is required for every business. If you have an employee, you are required to do this paid sick leave in the state of New Mexico.
Okay.
So I know I had questions. So I had reached out to a bunch of my friends that I know around the state that are HR people. So we are partnering with Leprino, and we are going to start a human resources group through SHRM.
Oh, cool.
SHRM is this organization that knows everything that there is to know about human resources. So starting on the 29th will be our first meeting. We're going to do a luncheon at the chamber, and we are trying to get anybody that wants to know more about human resources. And it doesn't matter if you're a huge business that has your own dedicated HR department, or if you're the mom and pop shop that it's you and 2 employees. Come and check this out and sign up and be a part of it. You're going to learn things that you're going to need to know.
Okay.
Because I know I thought there was I was like, I'll just come into the chamber and we'll have a good time. We'll fix some stuff and we'll have some parties and do good things. No, there is business part of your business that you need to know and be able to follow
and
these rules.
Let's face it, like you said, there's been new additions, changes, and things. And let's face it, these are type of semantics that really make or break businesses.
Absolutely.
Sometimes. And because generally speaking, especially your small businesses, that the owner's passionate about the product and maybe not so much about the minutia of running a business. And unfortunately, when it comes to human resources, if you're not doing those right, that can really bite you in the tail.
And it's not just knowing the rules and regulations. It's making sure that your employee handbook is written appropriately, that it's up to date, that you have the appropriate paperwork for your employees when you're hiring, and whether it be terminating or your employee has quit. What you have hanging in the break room, it's those types of things.
And when a disciplinary issue happens, and let's face it, anytime it's a matter of time. Somebody's going to, you know what I mean? There's just something happens. The difference between success and failure is, do you do the protocols right? If you fire someone, did you do everything that you're supposed to do to follow that track record? I know in the days of old, you're fired and that's the end of it. And in many cases nowadays, you better have some reasonings behind that and things. And if it's not documented, then you're probably going to get sued or have to deal with unemployment or various other issues.
Document everything, even if it's not a formal reprimand. Anytime you speak with an employee, you should be making notes.
Yeah.
What good, bad, or otherwise. And you should be, hey, on this date, I sat down and talked to Joe, and Joe said this, and we discussed this, and move on.
And it's even harder to be on top of that in a small business because, let's face it, the more time you spend with someone, you tend to get friendly, and the relationship, though is a boss-employee, also has elements of friend-peer type. And I'm not saying that's bad, but if you don't know how to handle that like an adult, it can bite you in the tail, and that's where the HR can protect you from those things.
So when that's on the 29th here at the Chamber. Like I said, we're trying to get this group started because I know if I have questions, I can't be the only one that has questions when updating my employee handbook and all of these other things. And so Jeannie Lopez Boberas, who's the HR specialist over at Leprino, her and I started talking, and she said, you know what? We need this group because then we can all help each other. Sure. And then, if you have a great employee handbook, for example, then maybe I can get a copy of it and then just tweak it for my specific business.
No use reinventing the wheel here. If it's a good thing, we'll just tweak it to, like you said, to customize it to meet your needs. But yeah, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. The handbook's the handbook. And let's face it, no matter what your business is, there is a common decency that you treat people and interact with. I don't care whether it's an oil field job or a job at a Quickie Mart or something. It's that there's the same level of respect.
That's right. And it doesn't matter if you have one employee or 101 employees. This is all good information. So please come the 29th. There is a website where we're going to need to sign up just because we're going through the program SHRM and they want to see how many people are going to show up, because if we only have 3 people show up, they're not going to send their specialists from out of town to come help us.
Right. It's kind of like, the military. It's like a fire trucks. They send everybody, but in essence, if it's a cat in the tree, they don't need to send, the entire. That's what happens anyway, because that's emergency. But in theory, you don't have to.
Exactly. So one guy with a ladder at the Chamber, because I don't have the website in front of me because my email is not coming up at the moment. It was popped up when I walked in here, and it has disappeared.
Technology never works when you need it.
No.
It's only when you don't.
But if you call us at the Chamber, 575-623-5695, we will take all of your information and we'll get you logged in ourselves. So we've got that on the 29th. We've got cap sorting on the 9th. And then, of course, we've got Roswell Invader Night on the 14th. And, of course, come by the Chamber, call us. With all of this fantastic weather we've had, our phones have been kind of on and off. So if you call us and we don't answer right away, it's not because we're ignoring you, I promise. as soon as the phones come back up, leave a message. If you get the voicemail, leave a
Technology's
message.
being ornery at the office right now.
We've got a bunch of children that are home for summer vacation that would love to answer the phone and take those messages.
Put them to work.
Absolutely.
Slave wages. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. My kids were rolling their eyes when I told them how much I was going to pay them.
Yeah, you're getting paid in experience,
And
kids.
they were like, what? And I was like, you're 12? So this is what you're getting paid.
That's right. You're. This is called parental education time.
That's right.
And we're going to teach you, Mommy going to teach you life, how it works. So.
Well, they've gotten a lot of life lessons since I took over. And that was during COVID because they were scrubbing toilets and washing windows and mopping. And I was like, okay, today we're going to the chamber.
Nice.
We're going to do our school till noon. And once we're done with homeschooling, guess what? It's home economics for the rest of the day.
That's the one facet my wife and I missed out. We don't have any kids, so we don't get to the stage where you get to train them to do all the chores.
Well, I have
Yeah,
I
know she
have
does.
3 teenage daughters if you'd like to borrow some.
Oh, you're my designated chore doers. Come on over.
That's right.
That's right. I got a list for you. But definitely, like you said, if you have any questions or any issues, please contact us. If you don't leave a message, it'll get to you. You can also always use our social media forms to reach out. Facebook and Instagram, right?
Facebook and Instagram
are the 2 main ones.
And hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have our new website.
Good deal. And then, like I said, come by the office. And, of course, we're gearing up back to school here.
Yep.
If you want to get business after hours for the fall and all that kind of stuff, now's the time to reach out and start booking that stuff.
Because we're only doing 2 a month.
Yeah.
And once they're full, they're full.
And I know, generally speaking, a lot of chamber members like to have some kind of a special occasion around their business after hours, whether it's a grand opening as a new business or an anniversary thing.
Or a remodel.
Or celebrating a remodel.
Changing of the guard of some sort.
Or a new piece of equipment.
But you don't have to.
No.
If you just say, you know what, I've been in Roswell for a while and nobody really knows where I'm at, or I just want to have a party, let us know.
But if it's something date specific, the more time out, the better. So
Absolutely.
Like if you're like,
so that way we can make sure.
Our 1 year anniversary is on September 17th. I need to have it on the 17th. It's like, well, you better tell us now. Don't wait till September to bring that.
Correct.
up.
And we typically do our business after hours on Thursdays. However, we have been known to make exceptions for those exact reasons, that if there is a special anniversary, a special grand opening, if all of your, special higher up management is going to be in from out of town, we will make those special arrangements. So that way, maybe the business after hours is on a Tuesday instead of a Thursday.
Sure. But either way, we accommodate, work on that. But the sooner you reach out to us, the better.
Absolutely.
And all that stuff too. And then, of course, here before you know it, we'll be talking fair and all that stuff. It'll be fair season.
Oh my gosh.
Here this month with the county fairs and then the Eastern New Mexico State Fair here, start of fall. It's all going to be back here pretty quick. So.
My daughters are getting ready to gear back up for their competition dance schedule for next year. And we were just talking about when is fair day.
Yeah, it's getting into fair season. I know. I think Eddy and Chaves counties will be later this month. And
I think so.
And then usually right the end of September, 1st of October is when the Eastern New Mexico State Fair will get underway.
Everything's cranking up.
Yep. So I do. It's in my car. I don't have it on me.
And school starts super early this year, August 4th.
August 4th, school's back.
Oh, my gosh.
That's less than a month away, kids.
Yeah, it's like a month away. And, of course, my kids are like, But, once again, I think that's due to COVID.
Couple parents
stuff
just went,
is that
really?
they're trying to make sure that they can get kids back on track.
Sure.
Was my understanding. I don't know if that's necessarily.
I probably, there's probably a lot to that. Yeah, they probably added some days.
And I think the school year typically was 185.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they added 10. That was the number I heard was 10 days
God
were
bless
added.
America.
So.
This year they gave the districts, they were able to decide for themselves if they wanted to do 180 or 190. Like I know in Albuquerque, they were going to do 190 and they got a lot of pushback.
So they stopped theirs.
And so they said, never mind.
But we here in Roswell,
We're doing 190.
I think it's a good thing. I
And
don't know.
they're
Why would you push
squeezing
back on
in
that?
Those extra 10 days also include Fair Day. That's considered community learning. And,
Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, good.
Martin Luther King Day, community learning. And then there's some days that are half days that will be included. And then the second half of the day is teacher development in that. So some of that's included in the calendar.
I'm okay with community learning as like Martin Luther, if actually they're doing stuff. Like Fair Day I can buy because they're going to fair.
Because those kids wouldn't be at school if you didn't give them the day off anyway.
Jr. Day, unless you're going to programs of Martin Luther King Jr., that's not an enrichment day. I'm hanging out in my home.
That kid's sleeping in, watching cartoons.
Yeah,
the state's allowing that to count as a school day.
That's a bit of a stretch, but all right.
Yeah,
I think
that's a bit of a stretch.
And as a parent, that's where I get irritated sometimes because I've had this, and it's not anybody's fault necessarily, other than probably admin, but. My kids typically don't go to school like the last few days of school because by the time finals are done, what learning is happening the last 3 days of school because all the tests are done. You're not doing any information. You're just fulfilling those however many days, however many hours of school that they need to do for the calendar because the teachers are putting in the grades to make sure that the final grades are there so that way you guys aren't there for an extra week after school's over doing paperwork. They're doing it those last few days. But that's just my personal mother rant.
Yeah. Well, we can keep going because that'll be, I just saw the time. We better because this is a can of worms.
Gosh. Yeah.
This is a can of worms that'll keep going for hours.
Yeah, call us at the chamber, 575-623-5695. Cap sorting, July 9th, Cox Automotive. That's this Saturday. We have the Chamber Invaders Night is Thursday, July 14th. Come to the Chamber, $8 a ticket. We almost sold out Joe Bonham Stadium last year.
Right.
So
let's
come
sell
on,
out this year.
We want to break our record. Like Mama wants to buy some new shoes.
We'll talk more about it on the radio here, but that right around that time too is also Vitalent's Battle of the Badges.
Perfect. Let's go.
14th, 15th, right around that same time too. We'll get her on later.
And if you want to know what's going on with HR, if you are a business, you need to be a part of this. Give us a call, 575-623-5695, or stop by and see us at 131 West 2nd.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate the visit as always. We'll see you here in a couple weeks. Well, I'll see you sooner, but officially in a couple weeks.
Absolutely.
All right. It is 9:55. We're going to do quick news and quick break before we quickly leave the radio waves. Don't go away. We'll be back. Maybe.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cerello. We have an update today to a case we first reported a couple of weeks ago regarding the deaths of two men at an oil field site in Eddy County. The Sheriff's Department providing an update Tuesday saying they do not suspect foul play in this case. Deputies responded to the oil field site near Highway 82 and Turkey Tract Road and found both men dead. The owner of the land is A&R Services based in Lovington. The Current Argus reports the company has not responded to calls for comment. Meanwhile, a third man who was found unresponsive at another oil field site this week is identified as being from Hobbs. 36-year-old Jose Martin Marino Nunez Jr. was found at the oil field site near Angel Ranch Road and Burton. That's north of Carlsbad Monday morning. A coroner pronounced the man dead at the scene. The sheriff's office in Eddy County says they do not suspect criminal activity in this case either. Chief Deputy Matt Hutchinson said there is no reason to suspect a threat to the public. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cerello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We can't rule out some showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon hours for the next couple of days with some of that monsoon air moving into eastern New Mexico. We will get some sunshine today as well. Our afternoon high will be in the upper 90s and isolated to scattered late-day showers and thunderstorms. Overnight, partly cloudy, low 70s, and then maybe a late-day storm again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Remember former Goddard quarterback Dalton Bowles? Yeah, he's a linebacker now. He plays for New Mexico State University. We're just scanning the college football rosters, and Dalton is a junior for the Aggies this year. He started 7 games as a sophomore last year, had 27 tackles. His freshman year, he was at NMMI back in 2019. And taking a look at another roster, it's got plenty of local players.
Eastern New Mexico University. Now all of these guys are sophomores, and not many of them got much playing time last year, so they're looking to make an impact this year. TJ Fletcher, he's a defensive back from Roswell. His former teammate Talon Sanders, also defensive back from Roswell High. From Goddard, Fernando Rubio on the D-line for ENMU, and Nate Stone, sophomore wide receiver for the Greyhounds. Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Big O Tires proudly sells our own brand of affordable tires. Our Bigfoot AT2 offers improved all-terrain traction. Our Legacy All-Season Plus keeps you on the road in any weather. And each set comes standard with the industry's greatest warranty. Now through July 10th, save $100 instantly on select sets of 4 Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. Not valid with other offers. Valid at participating locations.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
And that's going to do it for us for today's show. If you missed any part, check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com or look for Roswell's Talk FM on our YouTube channel or on our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall. Have a great day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5